making fun of me because when we were out to dinner with your husband Devlin and my wife Jenny, because you think you said that I'm friends with everyone who's on my podcast, and you were like, how many more friends do you have? How do you know everyone so well?
You do. Well, you've been doing comedy a long time, so you build a large Rolodex of friends.
You know what it is, though? I was thinking about it because it's I think because comedians we wait back to back at the comedy clubs for, there's a lineup of 5 or 6 people, and so you're just like waiting upstairs.
That's right.
So you just talk to people.
Yeah.
But you know everybody.
I don't know everybody, but I did the Conan, Needs a Friend podcast, which Conan Needs a Friend, and the whole notion of friendship or a best friend.
Yeah.
I find interesting because I think, I always think my best friend is Devlin, my husband.
Yeah.
But that, when I was a kid, having a best friend. And I don't think I ever had a best friend. and then one time I thought I had a best friend, and I found out I really wasn't. It was somebody else.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I thought I had gotten the part, and then they told me that no, they went another way. So it's interesting, the best friend.
Yeah.
Who's your like Matthew Broderick's best friend? Is the playwright Kenny Lonergan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
From childhood.
Yeah.
And that I sort of slightly envy that. Kind of.
I envy it too. I think adult friendship is so complex.
Yes.
Even you and I have been friends since 2008, which is many, many years ago, and I feel like this is nothing I was planning to say.
You don't know me at all?
No. I feel like I do know you. I feel like I can call you, which is a thing that you extend to yourself in that way that it makes it feel like, oh, I could always call you if I was in a jam or in trouble. But I think the gray area of friendship as a grown-up is when should you call someone versus like, can you call them?
Well, you've fallen and you can't get up.
Yeah. Well, that's the only instance I can think of for sure that you can.
If you want to talk through something or just to check in, and tell someone, tell someone you love them.
Yeah. Do I call you enough?
No.
Should I call more often?
Well, I don't want to. Don't be a pest.
Okay.
But no, I'm kidding. You're a busy guy. I'm occasionally busy. So
you're not occasionally busy.
So
you're always busy. You work more than any actor I know.
That's not true. But
you're in everything.
No, who did I just see? I was watching John Lithgow. I saw him and I went, this guy is he's in everything. But no, I'm always happy. I'm always happy to hear from someone you care about and love and want to. It's no. I don't think I'm not. I don't have a clicker going. He hasn't. He only called me 3 times this month.
Right.
If he started calling me a lot, I'd be worried. I think something's gone horribly wrong.
Right.
He's calling me for advice.
You were at SNL 50. You performed in John Mulaney's musical, which was hilarious. Were you? So you see a lot of people there. You see probably a lot of friends.
Some, but the most intimidating room I have ever been in.
Outrageous.
And I've been to the Oscars and big events, but this was something.
Did it stress you out?
Sure. I'm getting stressed just the memory of it. I was going as a guest.
Yeah.
Because
you've hosted the show.
I hosted in 1997. I was hot for 20 minutes. And I was asked to host. I'm a member of the One-Timers Club. Which, and I gotta say, there's more of us than the 5-timers. So we could have a rally, and maybe
win the popular vote.
Go to number 2. It was something. It came up. It was an incredible 2 days of the rehearsing of it. It was only the kindness of John Mulaney saying I'd like Nathan to be in the sketch and do this little cameo. And so I was like, oh well, that it'll be nerve-wracking, but how I was so honored to be asked, and what a historic night that will be. And
Yeah.
so But it was like I said to somebody, it was like, walking into the television set and
Yes.
seeing all these people from past and present casts and all of the other famous people over there, and just being able to say how much you've loved them and what they've done and how they've made you laugh or
Yeah.
however they've touched you it was astonishing.
Is there anyone you get intimidated by in a room
Everybody.
like that?
I'm very starstruck, and I'm very, very.
Believe this
I'm
for a second.
very.
No one's buying
nervous.
it. No one's
Well,
buying
it's shocking,
this.
when you meet somebody like Leslie Jones. I've always wanted to meet Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
I think she's hilarious. She just kills me. And there she was.
Yeah.
She was standing there, and I finally, I had seen her like at the rehearsal, but I get too nervous, and then. There she was, and I said, I have to say how much I love you. And she went crazy. I wouldn't think I would be on Leslie Jones's
List,
radar. And yet...
I would, but go ahead.
She was totally... It was such a pleasure. Lady Gaga, we're walking out, Devlin and I, and Lady Gaga turned to me and said, "Oh, I love you." And I was like, oh my God, it's Lady Gaga.
That's wild.
I love you too.
Aww.
It was a lot of that. Yeah, an unforgettable couple of days, and I was just thrilled to be a small part of it.
You say that you get intimidated by people, but I just don't believe it somehow. I feel like I strains credibility.
I don't know. It's something. It goes back to my mother. It's like I'm not worthy. I don't know. I don't belong here, and they're gonna find me out. Kind of.
Yeah.
Sad thing. There is vestiges of it. You try to deal with those feelings, but
did your
it's
mom,
intimidating.
Did your mom see you get successful?
Yes,
she did.
Sure.
Was that satisfying?
Yeah, I mean, with her, she was bipolar.
Yeah.
And so the notion of trying to make her happy, she had not had a happy life.
Yeah.
And so in those later years, just wanting, saying, what can I do for you? How can I, trying to make her life better? And there was very little you could do that would do that, because essentially all she really ever wanted was for all of us to be together, living together,
sure,
me and my two brothers. That's really all she wanted. And, it's that thing. I remember seeing this in a Jules Pfeiffer play, Grown Ups, where you would be there, and she would say, "When am I going to see you again?" And you would go, "I'm here. Look, I'm here right now. You're seeing me now."
I relate to that so much. That's my dad. It's you visit, and then you're leaving, and he says we should spend time together sometime. No, we're here. This is what we're doing,
right? And yeah. There's a memory of me leaving one time, visiting her, and she grabbed my hand and she squeezed it and she said, "I hate to see you go."
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that my success was very meaningful for her, and she was very proud of that.
She saw you become Nathan Lane from Joe Lane.
That's right.
Did she like that?
Well, when she would call me Nathan, it was like there were quotation marks around it. Nathan.
Nathan.
But most of the time, she called me Joe.
And you did it for Actors Equity, basically. Because there already was a Joe Lane.
Yeah, a Joe Lane. I remember years later, Actors Equity contacted me to say, you could have the name now. And I said, well, it's a little late for me to go from, I'm not Prince. I'm the man formerly known as Nathan Lane. Now Joe. So, no, it wasn't a good career move, but... there was already a Joseph Lane.
Did you think of was it spur of the moment when you were signing up for Actors Equity that you came up with Nathan, or were you thinking about it for a bit?
No, I went, to join. I was eligible to join, and then that's when they told me, and it was sort of like, it was a slap in the face. I couldn't be Joseph Lane, and I guess I looked stricken. And the woman said, "It's okay. Take your time. You think about it. Come back." And I said, but I said, no, just give me a couple of minutes. And I went and I sat down. And it's only because I had been, working in non-equity theater, and I'd done a lot of shows and plays and musicals, and I had played, at age 19, I played Benjamin Franklin in 1776 in Summer Stock, and then I had played Nathan Detroit in a dinner theater production of Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll either be Benjamin or Nathan Lane, and then I thought Nathan Lane had a better rhythm, and I went over and said, I'll be Nathan Lane.
Does it feel like you now?
Yes, it does.
It does.
Joe Lane feels like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But believe me, Nathan had lots of problems too. It wasn't like that was the magical ice cream suit. Now that I'm Nathan Lane.
The magical ice cream suit. Oh gosh. So one of the things that I like that you did 2 movies that were far out that I loved in the same year. Beau Was Afraid and Dick's the Musical.
It doesn't get more far out.
They're both so far out. 2 of my favorite movies in the a long time. And you're fantastic in both of them.
Oh, thank you.
And I feel like it says a lot, I think, about an actor.
There was a New York Times piece of this guy who was the nicest guy, very indebted to him, Kyle Buchanan, wrote this piece, because of those 2 films. And and the title said, Hollywood finally figures out what to do with Nathan Lane.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I just like to say, not really. But it was fun for a minute.
No, it's interesting, though, because there's very few actors, period, where you go, I'll see whatever they do. I feel like it's almost like a bygone era, and I feel like you have that. I think you have an unbelievable talent, not just for being a tremendous actor, but choosing projects that are pretty far out. I mean, how do you decide?
It's not like I get a lot of choices. That came up. Beau Was Afraid came up, and I knew the name Ari Aster. I had not seen at that point. I had not seen Hereditary or What do they? How do they pronounce it? Midsommar.
Midsommar.
Yeah, Midsommar. I hadn't seen them, but I knew that he had been acclaimed and that he was, this, new talent that people were talking about, and so I did watch the films, and they were incredible. And then I sent this script, and I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, he must have been on mushrooms when he wrote this or something. This is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And but originally it was like a fake title, but it was called Disappointment Boulevard.
I like that.
And so I said to my agents, well, this is, it's hard to make sense of this. But he's, I'm happy, to talk to him. And he had written me this beautiful note and said, this is,
oh my God,
you're my first choice for this part. And I I knew Joaquin Phoenix was doing it. And I think he's one of our greatest actors in film. So, we had a great talk, and then I said, yeah, sure. It was just, kind of figuring out the tone of that. And that was interesting to, beginning that, shooting that stuff and finding our way.
And I remember you came back because I saw you after you filmed it, and you were basically like, very strange movie. We'll see how it comes out.
Yeah.
But you loved Joaquin.
Oh, I loved Joaquin. I loved him. And I was Ari. I loved working with. Joaquin is just he would. I remember at one point Ari just said to me, he's not going to say the lines that are there. So just your objective is to keep him in your house and just say whatever you need to get him to stay in your house. And he said, and if you can work in a couple of lines that I wrote, that would be great.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I said, sure, I could do that.
Is he like? Okay. That's why I think people find him challenging sometimes to work with Joaquin. Is that he like you're saying? Doesn't necessarily
well, we
say
had
the lines.
We shot the first day with him, and myself and Amy Ryan, who's a very old friend of mine, a brilliant actress.
Yes.
This was the first time we finally got to work together,
that's nice.
Playing husband and wife. So that felt great. But we shot for 3 hours in this, our teenage daughter's bedroom, and with stuffed animals and boy band posters,
Yeah.
And Joaquin was like, and this is the setup for our characters.
Yeah.
But he's playing the truth of I've been in an accident and he's like Olivia de Havilland in Caged. And so we shot for 3 hours, and I thought, well, we could barely get our lines in.
Yeah.
So and then I thought, I don't know about that. And then so I texted Ari. It was at lunchtime. I texted her and I said, hey, it's your movie. You could do whatever you want. But, when I read this, it seemed to be darkly funny. And this is the introduction to our characters. And I couldn't get any of the lines in. So I said,
God.
That's all I'm going to say. But, whatever you want to do. So he texted me back and he said, "No, I don't think that went well." And Joaquin is not happy either. And I said, "Okay." And then we went back. So Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know him. I just admired.
Sure.
I've admired him from afar. So we said, and we're talking. Now 3 hours out the window.
Right.
So now we're back.
Footage that you're probably not going to use.
Yeah. So now we're back, and we're talking about the scene, and I finally said, "Look, Joaquin, we don't know each other, and I don't know how to break this to you, but I think this is supposed to be funny." and I said, "Listen, we're coming out of 45 minutes of you in the Kafka-esque opening that's horrifying, and I said, and then everyone should think now you're safe in suburbia with these nice people, but something's a little off,
right?
And as written, what I think what Ari wrote is funny, and you're speaking in kind of like he was speaking. The lines were written. It was like baby talk because we've so heavily medicated him.
Right.
What this leg here? What it was like that.
Yeah.
So. I said, listen, you should, so I tried to give him a bit of business. I said, take one of those stuffed animals and put it under you. And then when you have to make that weird noise, I said, just pull it out and stare at it.
Oh, my God.
And so he started to laugh.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, I can't do that. I said, so why not? You want an Oscar? Just put your mind to it. So he started laughing. So, and then we were like home free. Then everybody loosened up, and we started to play the scene. And then he said to me, I can't look you in the eye or I'm going to laugh. He said because once they put the camera on me, I was improvising and just saying things to see what reaction I would get.
Yeah.
And but he was a delight, and he was he's passionate and committed, and as Ari would say, he can only be truthful, and if it doesn't feel real to him, he can't do it. And he was No, he's a remarkable actor and a total sweetheart, and totally not. He's not pretentious. It's about the work, and it's not. I'm not some big movie star who's won the Academy Award. It's just, how do we make sense of this? And so I just loved that experience. And it was very brief. So, but I had a great time.
That is that's a great example of that. Movies, I feel like a lot of times, you see the director of a movie win an Oscar, or the writer, or this or that, and they go, no, it was everybody. And it really is. Like, it's a very hard thing to describe to people. Even like your story about Beau is Afraid, I think encapsulates that. It's like, you're an actor, you've worked for so long, and you've done a million things, and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna throw in my 2 cents.
Well, I just thought we weren't. I was sort of reminding Ari that this is what you wrote.
Yeah.
And we're going. I don't know where we're going, but it's not.
Yeah.
And what you wrote is really good, and it's funny in this very dark way, and we shouldn't be afraid of that.
Do you remember other films or plays over the years where you did that, where you're in it and you have to remind the principals, like, hey, we were gonna do this, and we should probably do that.
It doesn't. Well, that doesn't happen often. I can remember, this is the only first thing that came to mind when you said that, was there was this in the Birdcage, the word was used a couple of times, and sometimes it was like directly from the old French play.
Oh, right,
it was a punchline, and there was this, and I had to say, Alexander the Great was a and I finally went to Mike Nichols and said, this makes me a little uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
And it just, there's other ways of saying this.
Certainly, yeah.
And he was like, yes. He said, and so, and I gave him examples of what it could be, and another way of saying that, and he said, and I said, it's, and as the only in the real scene, I would rather not say
sure.
And he said, I understand. And then he said, but this was a job that was like, I was just thrilled to be asked to this party.
Yeah, sure.
And he's Mike Nichols.
He's Mike Nichols, and it's a huge break.
He's like, yes.
Yeah.
He's like God.
This is in the 90s, yeah.
So, and he said, but dear boy, could you just do one
boy.
As written?
Oh my God.
As written. And I was like, oh, sure. Of course, that's what's in the movie.
Oh my God.
It was weird. He wouldn't let... Mike Nichols and Elaine May, two of the most sophisticated, most brilliant minds ever.
Sure.
And yet, I always felt like because they came from another generation where that word was a punchline.
Yeah.
And it was allowed, and it was okay. And for some reason, he wouldn't let go of it. Or he wouldn't let Robin refer to me as his husband. I was referred to as his wife. He wouldn't let him call me my partner. And maybe it was that the notion of, I want this to be a big mainstream hit, and I don't want to offend anybody. But, you think then we're making it's 1995 or 6, whenever we made 95, we were making it. This is a gay story.
Oh yeah.
When I saw it as a kid, when I had first moved to New York in the late 70s, that movie was playing on the Upper East Side for over a year.
The Kaja Fall.
It was the most successful foreign film at the time. And I remember seeing it, and I thought it was hilarious. And I just thought, it's so subversive. It's a French farce. But, the gay people are the heroes in this. And so... Yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling this story, but, I have to say that it was a tremendous experience. And Mike and Elaine were incredibly kind to me. But it was a stumbling point that I was like, why are they hanging on to this?
Yeah.
This word.
Yeah. That's hard.
Is it because they come from another generation? And I don't know. It was awkward for a moment, and then but in an otherwise great, very happy, joyous experience.
I met Elaine May recently, and I said to her, just briefly, and I said, I've read in books over the years about you and Mike Nichols that he would stick to his lines when you did the Broadway 2-person show, and that you would just make it different every night. And she goes, don't believe anything anyone writes unless they were there. Do you feel like anything people have written about you over the years is not quite right, or people get you wrong ever?
All the time. Sure.
In what way?
I've read interviews where literally I didn't say any of it. where they obviously thought I can write something better than what he said on
you
my
didn't
tape
say
recorder.
any of it?
It's true. I mean literal like a paragraph that I did not think.
I mean, that's outrageous.
People characterize you. I think because there have been times when I'm like I know it's at my age when I'm near death and I'm still shy. Shy doesn't hold up well in my age range. But people can take that as being standoffish or like, well, what's his deal? I just totally or just things attributed to me that I didn't say or do.
What was attributed that you didn't say? Do you remember?
I don't know. We'd have to.
You just have to look up and find some quotes.
Let me bring in my lawyer. I know this.
Stuart, get in here.
He has all the files.
So when you work with these directors and Mike Nichols and Ari Aster, and I mean, you've worked with just Mel Brooks. I mean, you've worked with unbelievable people. What's your favorite quality in a director as an actor?
They're the best ones usually don't say much. Not that I like direction. I like hearing thoughts about what's happening.
Yeah.
It's a bit of being a father figure, a therapist, and the director is for each person. It's a little different, however they work and what it is they're doing. But it's it's sort of the Clint Eastwood notion is he's cast you for a reason.
Right.
He's not here to teach you how to act
right,
or how to
right.
play a scene. He assumes you've done your homework. It's a big assumption because not everyone does their homework.
Sure.
But it's an assumption that you're a professional. You're going to show up on time and know your material and have a point of view about it. And then only if he feels you've gone off on the wrong path will he say something. It really depends. I mean, I don't. Some people don't. They don't want to hear notes or any of that.
Right.
They just want to, and they don't want to even rehearse. And in film, I kind of get that. They want to let's see what happens.
Right.
We're all looking for that happy accident.
Right.
That's real and was unexpected.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to capture on film.
I'm guessing you had that to some extent with Robin Williams on Birdcage. Because Robin seems like he didn't stick to a script that often.
Well, no, Robin was very professional, but what we rehearsed, and then Mike had said to us, just feel free to improvise while we're rehearsing.
Yeah,
and then even though he was very protective of Elaine's script, he would usually say he would give us a free take, to get it out of our system.
Yeah.
And out of that, things came, for sure, little moments and no, Robin was, I mean, if, he liked that if he did go somewhere, I would go with him.
Yeah.
And we would, were kindred spirits in that way. We were both sort of like needy children who just wanted to please daddy. And he was, Robin, he made it a very happy atmosphere and joyous, and kept people's energy up and entertained in between takes.
Yeah.
And he was so, kind and generous and loving, and I can remember there was a musical number that was eventually cut, but I did a number in the club, and so he had the day off, and I remember he came in, and I said, "What are you doing here?" I'm just doing this all day. And he said, "I want to be here for you. I want to support you."
Oh,
well, he was just an incredible person, and I'm lucky that I got to work with him.
Yeah. I always say, but I only met Robin a few times. But when we did that Wounded Warriors benefit at the Beacon, he would. All of these soldiers who had been injured and had these severe injuries, he would go around and he would be the Robin Williams.
That's right.
That people dreamed of meeting.
That's right.
Which, of course, in show business, you never really get that from anybody because they're performing on camera or on stage, and then they're human beings. But he was the Robin Williams from the movies for people.
Yes, he would do that for people who needed it, or he knew that was part of his job, and. But yeah, I also just remember quiet moments with him. And he was such a sensitive soul, so dear, and easily hurt.
Yeah.
And just, incredible. And we always I can't say that we became close friends. We would keep in touch, but we always had that bond of having done that film, and it was, it was a success, and it was just a very fond memory for everyone involved.
So you did Beau is Afraid and Dick's the Musical in the same year.
Yeah.
Jenny and I went to Dick's the Musical. We were going through a lot of personal stuff at the time that was really challenging with our families, and we went to the theater and saw Dick's the Musical, and I don't remember laughing as hard at a movie in the theater as I did at that movie. And it was such a gift of a movie. It is so insane.
Yeah. It really is insane.
And the guys who made the movie, I mean, you really took a chance on them because they hadn't, to my knowledge, made a feature film.
Josh Sharp and Aaron Jackson, that came from UCB.
Yeah, they came from UCB, and they
and there was a whole gay contingent of UCB. Beau and Yang, Matt Rogers.
Yeah,
was Julio Torres? Was he? He was just doing stand up. He wasn't a part of that, maybe.
But he might have been in the scene. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, it was sent, and I was like, well, I can't do this.
Because your character, to give context, your character I want to say eats ham.
No, he has these creatures. He has these pets.
Okay.
That are called the sewer boys.
Yes,
that he obviously found in the sewer, and he keeps
boys.
them in a cage in his living room, and they eat deli meat.
Right.
And they're these strange. They're like, they have tails, and they're these odd, little dragon-like urchin.
Right.
They're creepy. They're very creepy. But he loves them, and he feeds. They like deli meat, and he feeds. So you have to, and he would feed them like like a mother bird. And so I would have to chew up the deli meat and spit it into their mouths. That was the much talked about scene. Anyway, yeah. So I was like, I don't know about this. And then they said Larry Charles was going to direct it.
Yeah.
And I loved Larry Charles, and so I had a Zoom with him. And then I said, look, I was still sort of on the fence, and I said, I need to meet these two young guys and just talk about this. And so we had this dinner that went on for like 4 hours. And several Cosmopolitans later, I said, well, I guess we're making a movie. Well, they were like, the gay sons I never had. And they're brilliant guys. They're really smart and really funny. And, as they always, I think it was Aaron always said, we're not making this for for people to upset people. We're not making it for people who won't like it. We're making it for the people who will like it.
Right. Oh, that's an interesting way.
Who want this is kind of outrageous. And and they look. I thought I admire the audaciousness of this. And especially, well, even more so now, but at the time, it was just, when books are being banned and, you don't say this, don't say gay, don't do that. And I just thought, they don't care.
Well, they clearly don't.
They just don't
think
care.
There is a line.
And interestingly,
because it goes, I don't want to give away where the story goes, but
connecting back to the word or
yeah.
They're those folks are it was used in that movie. Bo and Yang played God.
That's right.
And they all sang a song. We all sang. I should include myself. We all sang a song. I had nothing to do with it.
I was not involved.
I was not involved at all. I was nowhere to be seen. We all sang a song called "All Love Is Love." This is when the twins decide the only person they realize they love each other even more profoundly.
Yes.
And
spoiler alert.
And they get married. Yes. And they all sing a song called, God sings a song called "All Love Is Love." And at the end, he says, God is saying, I'm everything. I'm black, I'm white, I'm this, I'm rich, I'm poor, and I'm gay, I'm straight. And they said, you're gay? God is gay. So in the lyrics, as it goes, don't you want to see the movie now? In the lyrics, we'll turn this into a cult film yet. They sing, all love is love, all love is love, God is a and all love is love.
Yes.
So they're sort of reclaiming the word
right.
And I was, and so I was like, oh, that's, because that word has always made me uncomfortable, but having been called it. So I sort of got what they were doing, and I kind of then, and by the fifth time they sang, oh, God is a I started laughing.
That's what it took. It took 5 times.
Sometimes it's just repetition that can do it. Anyway, I think they're brilliant and original, and I just thought, sure, I want to be a part of this.
It's like when you do Angels in America, which is, one of the greatest American plays. It's sort of an epic play, and then you do Dick's the Musical, which is this completely irreverent, wild film. Beau is Afraid, very experimental. Like, what do you see as the through line as an actor in all of those things? Is there a through line of being an actor in all those things?
Well, the through line is you are trying to be truthful with it. So. You're looking for, the humanity in it, or the heart of it at times. I think there's, it depends on what it is you're doing. In Beau is Afraid, it was just, I liked that he was this suburban dad who, said things like, what did he keep calling him? My brother,
yes.
Who thought he was being hip, and he was sort of this corny dad. And yet there's a moment in it that I really liked when I'm trying to get Joaquin to say something, and you see there's something much darker at play. Just for a second,
yeah.
You see that. And you look for those kinds of, with a character like that, you're looking for that moment, the darkness and the light, or the
when you're in
the humor in the sadness or tragedy. And
when you're in that scene where you say you see a glimpse of the kind of darkness of the character, will you say to the director, "Hey, I'm just
catch
my
glimpse of darkness"?
Will you catch that in this one? No. You just drop it in.
Someone of the caliber of Ari Aster,
someone's gonna catch it.
Who's written it.
Right.
Knows that's what's happening. That might be happening.
Do you ever ask for another take for that, though?
I'll do as many. I love doing a lot of takes.
But do you ever ask
Some
for
people
another?
Don't.
Can I have another?
it's like they always talk about De Niro. It's like, not that I'm comparing myself to him.
Oh, I heard the comparison.
Yeah, but
it was in there.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby and I go way back. But there was, he like uses takes to warm up.
Oh.
So he'll do a lot. He likes to do a lot. Apparently, I've never done a film with him, but
I think they're talking about Meet the Fockers 4, so there might be a role in that.
There might be finally. Okay, I'm game. Just to say I worked with him. I think there are people who like, this is it. They got two. If they, like, I don't know. I can remember interviews or Morgan Freeman saying, if you need more than 2 takes, then something's wrong, or, and I think, I don't know about that. But I come from the theater. I like to rehearse, and so there's that part of me. But I understand from a film point of view, it's like, this is it. And then you peak about maybe take 3, but I don't know. It can. Then there's David Fincher, who likes to do 57 takes.
And Noah Baumbach, yeah. So
that it goes on and on, where you think you're losing your mind, and it's the old Billy Wilder saying to Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, because Marilyn Monroe would just to get one take where she said the right thing or did the right line or whatever it was he wanted, he said to them, you have to be great in every take, because whenever she gets it right, that's the one I'm going to use. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Be funny.
So you're in a new series called Mid-Century Modern. It's on Hulu. It's just about to come out. How did you get involved with it?
This is all Ryan Murphy,
Yes.
became my guardian angel in
Yes.
my third act. And he called me and said, and just the fact that he called me was shocking. He called me and said, I want to send you a script. It's written by Max Muchnick and David Cohan, who created Will and Grace. He said, I've never done a multicam before, but he said, I read this script and I thought it was hilarious and I loved it. And they've kind of written this character with you in mind. And then I read it and it was hilarious. So I said, yeah, sure. I play a character named Bunny Schneiderman, who is a very, very wealthy, successful manufacturer of women's bras.
Yeah.
And he has a chain of stores across the country called the Bunny Hutch.
Yeah.
And he lives in Palm Springs with his mother, Sybil. And it opens at a funeral, a very close friend of his and his other 2 friends, played by Matt Bomer and Nathan Lee Graham. And they come back to his house afterward, and they're talking, and they're having a great time. And he's sort of, he's obviously an older gentleman and kind of lonely at this point in his life. He's never had a great love in his life.
Yeah.
And he says, why can't this be the rest of our lives? He lives in this big house, and one is an airline. Matt plays an airline steward named Jerry, and Nathan Lee Graham plays a man named Arthur Broussard, who comes from the world of fashion. He's Anna Wintour has just fired him, being too opinionated, and so they eventually do, and that's sort of where the series goes. And Jimmy Burrows, the legendary Jimmy Burrows, directed all 10.
That's astonishing.
Episodes.
That's astonishing to me. How?
It all happened very fast. We did a pilot, and then almost immediately, a few months later, we were doing the first season.
Just to put this in context for people,
Ryan Murphy.
Jimmy Burrows is the same Jim Burrows, who did Cheers.
Cheers, co-created Cheers, directed a lot of. I think he directed all of Will and Grace.
Yeah,
Friends pilot.
I mean, just a legend
of legends. He goes back to the Mary Tyler Moore show.
He did. Yeah, he did Mary Tyler Moore.
It's been the happiest experience I've had in television. And he said, "Do you believe we got this lucky again with this group of people?" And he said, "I just want to do this show for the rest of my life."
Oh,
and for someone like him, it's so moving, and it's just been, the whole thing has been joyous. And, Matt and Nathan Lee And then in the midst of all of this, Linda Lavin, who was playing my mother, died, which was a shock and devastating. And Linda was, she was certainly a beloved figure in the theater. And we weren't like close friends beforehand, but whenever I was just a fan, and I would see her, and we would always say, I hope we get to work together someday. So this was very special, and we became very close doing this, and she had been diagnosed with lung cancer, and so she had called me. This was the day after Christmas, and we were supposed to go back in like a week or so to finish filming, and to tell me this, and she said, but they're going to start radiation. They feel I could still work, and I'll be tired, but I'll be able to do. And I said, look, it's whatever you need to do, and it's just a TV show. Your health is the most important thing, but we'll do whatever we can, and don't worry about anything. And I was able just to say, how much I loved her, and then literally like 3 days later, she said to her husband she wasn't feeling right, and they called her doctor, and he said, come in, and he's at Cedars, and so they were driving from Malibu to Cedars, and one of the tumors was obstructing her airways, so her breathing had become labored, and so on the way there, she said to him, I want you to live your life. And he said, I am living my life. She said, I just want you to know if I die, I want you to know how much I love you. And he said, I know, and I love you too. And then her breathing was labored, and she lowered the window, and her heart stopped. And she died, and yeah, I miss her every day, and she was such a huge part of it, and so brilliantly funny, such a brilliant.
It seems like in some ways that series seems like such a perfect fit for all that you've been doing your whole career, because you have the live studio audience, and it's film.
Well, my past in the multicam has been dicey, to say the least, and so I've avoided it. And now, to do it with some of the best people who've ever done it, it's a very different experience. But yeah, other than that, it has been just the best experience I've ever had in television, and everybody gets along, and everybody. But I think we all set out to do that, to make it a place where you feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah. This is called the slow round. Who is someone you're jealous of?
Well, that's not fair to ask someone in show business that. Well, let me get out my list. Who am I jealous of? I'm not. I was a little jealous when I heard Lithgow was going to. They've asked him to play Dumbledore. In the Harry Potter series for HBO. I thought, that's a good gig. That's going to go for a while, no matter what. Even if it stinks, it's going to go. No, I'm at a point now, I feel like and people seem to have been concerned over the years about my happiness, but I'm sort of, people have written articles about it. Anyway, I certainly the happiest I've ever been in my personal life and in my professional life, and I'm just I feel very lucky, and
the follow-up question is,
yes.
Who are you jealous of that you thought of when I asked the question but didn't say?
No, I can't. I honestly, I can't. Devlin could probably tell you. He's probably heard me say.
I'll ask Devlin.
Mention a name, but it's like I don't really have that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of me that would like. I'm very happy where I am and what I've achieved, but there is a part of me that I wouldn't mind if I had got to have a little more of a career in film. So I don't know. There's this sort of, I think there's this sort of general feeling of me being this, whatever.
General feeling.
There's a general feeling that it's like, it's why they, in film, that it's, you're going to play, somebody's agent, get him. It's that, or it has to do with some notion of me because I've had also a career in musical theater that it's big, it's Mermanesque, it's whatever you want to call it, and that I think I've shifted that perception.
Yeah, you've completely shifted because you've played
over the last
the
decade
difference of the roles you've played in the last 2 decades is unbelievable.
I could give you evidence.
Yeah,
Your Honor. I could show you that there is a range, but I think people want to categorize you. They want to put you in a box, and they don't want you to get out of the box.
Of course.
But I was able to dig a hole in the corner of the box, and I got out.
Oh, I know. I saw.
Now I'm in another box down the street.
Box?
Well, I know. Well, that's. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Has your life gone the way you expected it to?
Better. Yeah, things like I have so many things that it was more than you could have hoped for. But there was this strange. I also had this strange. For all of the fear, I had this strange thing as a kid that I saw it as. I somehow knew it was going to work out.
Yeah,
this strange. There's also this part of me, this strange. I don't know if it's even confidence, but just sort of like I could see it like a movie.
Right.
And I would say to myself, well, this is now I'm in the beginning of the movie, and it's and I'm a starving actor in New York. And,
sure.
I don't have any money, and I was once so hungry I stole a grapefruit. I walked by a Korean market and I had no food and I stole it like a grapefruit. and I'm not even particularly fond of grapefruits. I guess it was just it was in reach. But I always thought, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Somehow, I just know it's gonna work out. I don't know why I had that feeling, but I did.
Yeah.
And then I lucked out, and it worked out.
What's the best?
That's the name of this show, Working It Out. Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice someone's given you that you used?
It was Elaine May's line is the safest thing you can do is take a risk.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Just.
The safest thing you can do is take a risk.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so I'm going to work out a couple of jokes I'm doing my performances at the Beacon Theater in a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Oh.
So at the last minute.
Should I come?
Oh my God, I'd be honored. I'd be honored if you came. Of course, if people don't know this, Nathan presented my first show off Broadway, Sleepwalk with me, and I view it as the inflection point of my entire life and career.
Oh well, it's all you. I just went along for the ride. You were. I vividly remember us standing outside when I was living in Tribeca, and I think we had dinner, and you were a little. Annoyed by the fact that Meryl Streep was presenting.
That's right.
Someone
Bridge and Tunnel. Yeah.
off Broadway.
Yeah, Sarah Jones's show.
How did
Solo
she get
show.
Meryl Streep?
Yeah, how'd she get Meryl Streep to do that?
Present
Yeah.
And then and then you said, you looked at me and it was like a marriage proposal, and you said, would you present me? And I went, well, I said, well, yeah. Well, how much is it going to cost? You said nothing. I said, oh, sure, I'll present the hell out of you.
Your version of my voice is like I'm a hustler. Nothing.
And so the next thing I knew, I was presenting you.
Actually,
if I'd known it was going to be such a big hit, I would have put money into it.
Yeah, but it was. I really do think of it as like a singular inflection point in my entire life and career.
Well, it was just a great show, is what it was, and it was your performance of it. And do you remember when we did The View together?
No, I remember it.
And Joy Behar kept referring to you as Mike Birbiglia,
yes.
Which was some fell somewhere between, like, you sounded like a celebrity chef or an Italian porn star, Mike. And she kept saying, I would say, no, it's Birbiglia. She said, no, it should be Birbiglia.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I remember that so well. It was a huge moment for me because my mom got to come, and my mom loves The View, watches The View every day.
Sure.
And so she was in the audience, and it was and Joy came over and talked to her, and she loves Joy. It's her favorite comedian.
Sure.
And Joy said to my mom, "What do you think about your son being a comedian?" And she goes, "I don't know. I don't know what I think about it." She goes, Joy goes, "Oh, he's really good at it." And it was a turning point in my relationship with my mom and her understanding of my comedy career. It was like a permission slip from Joy Behar to my mom saying it was okay for me to be a comedian.
Wow. Joy Behar.
Yeah.
Had that kind of power.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's something. Yes. No, I was proud to be associated with it. It was such a great show. And then it was a book. It was a board game. It was then you made a movie.
And then
you did it in claymation. It's unbelievable how much mileage you got out of Sleepwalk.
Well, here's what I'll say about your wisdom in general about a lot of my projects over the years is when I made it into a film, you read the script and you said a thing that stuck with me, and I brought up during the production and in the edit over and over again, which is you basically said the risk of turning this into a movie is that it starts to feel like a boilerplate independent film, quote unquote, of this really special singular show. And you said you have to take the singularity from the show and figure out how to have it live in the film. And we did it eventually, but it was very, very hard. But we brought that up over and over and over again, citing you. And I think it's true of all things. I actually think about that in everything I do. Is you can. I think the inclination sometimes it goes to the thing you were saying about advice of Elaine May, is the safest thing you can do is take a risk. It's the same idea, which is you shouldn't do what you're in your mind is the independent film of the thing. You do what's sort of in your gut.
Right. Or do something that's going to scare you.
Do something that's going to scare you.
That, it's like, I don't know if I can do that, but that's always a good feeling.
This is I just got back from Una's winter break. The other night we're on vacation in Florida, and Jem was like, let's go out with Una and swim in the pool. And it was 8:00 at night. It was dark. And we go out, and Una's swimming underwater, and it's a magical moment. And then she swims into the pool wall and scrapes her head and is bleeding. She's okay. She's fine. But the first thing I thought was, I'm so glad it was Jen's idea to go in the pool. Because if it were my idea, we'd be talking about this for 20 to 30 years. Since it's her idea, it's like the thing's gonna heal and we'll never talk about it again.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So it just happened this week, and I just jotted it down in my notebook.
Yeah. That's good.
I just feel like, yeah, it's and then I wrote this. This is something I want to try to get on stage, which is so many of my friends have gotten divorced lately, which has been really hard on me. Because when people get divorced, then you have to go back into your own wife and husband and overcompensate and be like, Jim's getting divorced, which is what I would never do because I am resolute and firm in my conviction to be married. I would never be divorced like Jim, who is a villain. We shall never speak of Jim again. This is a really half-baked idea. Whenever our friends get divorced, we do a divorce autopsy. Like, they got divorced because they couldn't agree on what it was they were arguing about. And we're not like that, right? Come on, team. Yeah, it's half-baked. It's just definitely like a free association.
What do you
but
think
it's like,
when people talk about we have like an open relation or an open marriage?
what do I think when people say that?
Yeah.
I always think,
Do you think that?
good luck
Yeah.
to you in your life. I'm always like, no judgment, good luck to you in your life. I respect it. I don't fully buy it. And I'll tell you why.
As opposed to getting a divorce, they say we've decided to open up our marriage.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Because we are, we're great as a couple, but we both would like to have sex outside the marriage.
Yeah. Look, I did a whole show about
monogamy.
to some degree. My girlfriend's boyfriend was all about how I was never going to get married, and here's why. Here's the 7 reasons why, and all this stuff. Because Jen and I went through a period where, before we got married, we were like, oh, okay, we're not exclusive to each other, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, good luck with that. We did that. It was a debacle. Every week was so much drama. Every week was like, who's that? What's that? What's that all about? Who's that? It's like, what are you, fucking 2 lives? I don't know. It just feels like that. Again, no judgment. People
just
listening,
say,
whatever, everyone has
just grow up and have an affair. Just cheat and do it well.
I just feel like when Jen and I were in this phase of life where that's where what we were going to do, we're like, tactically, it required so much preparation, so much planning, so much clandestine. And honestly, like, how do you do that without actually lying if you're with the person all the time? If you know that person well enough, you know they're fucking lying. You just know. You just know in your bones.
You're getting angry and it hasn't even happened. Yeah.
I'm riled up for comedic purposes.
Oh. Hey, I
invite you to the premiere of The Good Life.
Yeah, I don't come.
You write back. You don't come. You write back. Here's 2 invitations. On Tuesday, it's for Premiere of Adults season premiere, Big Mouth series finale premiere.
Yeah.
You're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Like a perfect crossroads.
Yeah.
Does it feel like that?
I feel like Britney Spears in the film Crossroads. Not like Robert. No, I'm gonna. Anyway, so I feel like Britney Spears in that I'm heading towards a conservatorship.
Yeah. I understand that aspect.
You know what I mean?
I could see you in a conservatorship.
I would love
I actually
to just
could
be.
I can imagine it.
It would be great to just let someone else take the reins for a while.
Someone in their 30s who can balance a checkbook.
Yeah, who knows how to get shit done.
They can get your meals together for the day. They pack them in a backpack.
Send you off with the water bottle that you like.
Yes.
A bento box full of healthy snacks that are also tasty.
And then you pay them $4 million a year.
Yeah. And who wants to make medical decisions?
Exactly. Adults, by the way, super funny.
Thank you.
People watching,
Yes.
stick with it through the first episode. I don't think the first episode's great. The rest of it, I think, is a riot.
I'm furious.
I snuck up on you.
At how
No.
revealed I feel.
All pilots are like
I
that.
agree.
Though. All pilots. The pilot of Friends is like that.
What's crazy about making TV and specifically is I do think I really like the first episode, but I totally understand what you're saying in that we started making this show. My first emails with Ben and Rebecca, who created the show, were in like November 2020.
Yeah.
Like it was like, hey, we have this idea. This sounds great. Let's start to do it. And now almost 5 years later, it goes on the air.
Yeah.
And it moved pretty smoothly. I mean, we had like the
5 years.
the pandemic, the writer strikes, and just like general development. 5 years, and it was working at every stage.
Wow.
Like it was. But so when we conceived of the show 5 years ago, or when they conceived of it and I helped them make it, it was like the pilot. There's some sort of hot button stuff in the pilot that really felt very different when, you know, that's why I think pilots suffer, is because they take so long to make that what you finally make doesn't feel as current as then what you start to make when you actually get
Closer
to make the
to the
show.
date of the release.
Yeah, where it's just like now we're doing this thing that feels like alive versus this. And that's it. And I really love the pilot for the show, but I know what you mean. And I think as the season goes on, like if you get to like the third episode, Bayside Stabber, it's
so
like,
funny.
it's so
dying laughing.
I say this because I'm responsible. You know, I'm a part of the show, but I say it as someone who's like, I didn't write it and I'm not acting in it. So there's like a little more distance that can
be
like
fatherly to it.
Yeah, I'm just like, that show is so funny, and everyone on the cast is super, super funny.
But I have to say, like, because this is working it out, it's a lot of people obsessed with craft. It's like pilots are hard because they have to do so much work.
Yeah.
It's like, think about the pilot of any sitcom that you've ever liked.
Yeah.
Pilot's super hard. You have to explain all of the characters.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of cases, 5 to 10 people who you know nothing about.
Yes.
And then by the end of it, you have to have a sense of like, let's watch the next one.
Yeah. Like I always wonder, I'm like, could you do it where you just kind of drop people in the middle?
Yeah.
But there's got to be a reason why it keeps not happening that way.
No, it's interesting. And then, like, I think part of the magic of that show is as the episodes go on, you must have done it in sequence because everybody seems to be actual friends. So, like, by the time the Stabber episode comes, I'm, like, laughing because I do feel like I know the people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, they're friends.
Yeah. They really kind of, like, truly bonded very quickly. At the intro sequence, all the pictures, you know, on the refrigerator, those are just their pictures that we asked them for.
Oh, that's sweet.
So it's like, and it feels in that way where you're like, you know, I was watching it with my wife and she was like, how'd you get all those pictures? Like, oh, that's just them from over the season. And so it feels like an authentic quality that it would be hard to mimic. Like, just think about that photo shoot of being like, we got to take 20 fucking different pictures of these kids and make it look like they've been friends forever.
Yeah. You, get in the scuba outfit.
Jesus. Put on another funny t-shirt, asshole. Let's go.
Yeah, they feel...
Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
No, this goes straight to NPR.
Oh my God.
Public radio. Yeah,
which is thriving right now, right?
No, I have to tell you about some news stories.
What?
Yeah, no, they're struggling.
Wait. Do tell me what's happening on a national level.
There's so much going on. I couldn't possibly brief you in the 70 minutes we have.
Okay, great. Good. Then fuck them.
Says America.
Yeah, thank you.
With adults, what part feels like your life in your 20s? Because we lived our 20s a bit together. And what part doesn't feel like your life?
Sure. I mean, I think that was what I definitely responded to early on with making the show was like, you know, these Ben and Rebecca, when we started, were like 24. They were making it about their lives and their friends. Yeah. And so it felt very current to them. But for me, similar in a way, you're talking about Big Mouth as far as like a somewhat of a spiritual, like, my work is spiritual. Not quite Pete Holmes level spiritual.
Oh my God. You caught yourself being earnest for a moment.
I know.
And then I saw your wheels turning.
Yeah. Ernest Goes to Podcast.
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Podcast.
So, in doing it, in that, what Big Mouth was for puberty, looking back on that, I think that adults is very much for whether you're in the middle of it or you're looking back on it, it feels very similar to me. So like I think about when making the show of like what I was like in my early 20s when we were friends in New York. And in fact, you kind of were the Kyle Haberman, the kid in the pilot who gets molested.
Oh, Jesus. Tell me more.
Well, you were succeeding so early, and it was like you came to New York and immediately like understood things, and like you were on Letterman, you were like succeeding. You had an
By the way, you're talking
office.
about the character who gets a lot of attention for getting molested at work, I think.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And they're all jealous of how much work, how much attention he's getting.
Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you. Versus just saying the kid who got molested. Yes, it's more like he's getting clout.
He's getting molested at the office.
Yeah, you know. And Rainn Wilson sexually assaulted you on the set of The Office.
Christ. This has gone terribly awry.
So,
Okay.
but you guys worked it out on Soul Pancake, and now here we are.
Christ.
So, but in my early 20s, here's what I'll say about my early 20s is that like there's a lot of things about it, but I think about us knowing each other, and that I really did look at you being like, you really understood, you were succeeding, and I was like, when is my life going to start? When is my career going to start? And of course, like it did in its own way, but so like, for example, that's a feeling that in that pilot, even though it's a very heightened, ridiculous thing, it's something that I was like, oh yes, I felt experiences like that when you're just starting out and you're like, how did that person get that thing?
Right.
Big or small, you're just trying to understand it. And also like my roommates from New York in those days came to the premiere last night, which was really like sweet. Like they were Lauren Brody, Drew Brody came, and
Our
Lauren
friend from college.
Yeah, my dear friend. And I really think of him in a lot of ways. And I think about like my early 20s. We went to college together and then moved in together.
Yeah.
And like really like not knowing I was like supposed to like wash my sheets. Do you know what I mean? Like my bed, like
Yes.
one day I like smelled my bed. I was like, my bed fucking stinks.
Yes.
Like what is going
What has happened?
What has happened?
What is going on?
Someone needs to
Someone has to do something.
handle this.
Where's my conservator? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what a conservator would do.
That would.
Yeah,
They would
if you
wash
give
your
them $4 million
sheets.
a year, they just wash your
They'll
sheets.
wash your sheets. Yeah, give you a camera from a high angle and a cavernous.
Free Nick Kroll.
Thank you.
Yes.
Finally.
So wash your sheets, things like that in your 20s.
All
where
that
you're
stuff.
just like,
I used to eat pizza and think it was like genuinely healthy. Do you know what I know?
Yes.
Do you like pizza, Mike? Have you ever talked about liking pizza?
I knew you were going to like somehow come at me with this.
About pizza?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's not that you thought it was healthy, but you're like, yeah, it's got food groups in
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's got tomatoes.
Tomatoes are vegetables still at that point in my,
Right.
not knowing they were a fruit like an idiot.
Yeah.
How could I not known seeds?
You should have known.
Seeds make a fruit? What
Yep.
about a cucumber?
No, that's right.
Right?
Both. Fruit. Wait, but talk to me about Big Mouth, because when I'm watching it, I'm going, I'm sure in the final episode it's less this way, but in the early seasons, it must be real stories from your life where there's real people.
Yes.
Like, did you ever have conversations with people where they're like, were your friends from growing up, or like, that was me in 7th grade?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, early on and throughout, there were things that, like a dear friend of mine from growing up, that Andrew and I grew up with.
Yeah.
He fucked his pillows. I mean, that's like that's how we got that.
That is a unique thing about writers' rooms in Hollywood that before I was in one, I didn't understand. And with Big Mouth is probably wild, which is you bring your own stories.
Yeah.
You're like, this thing happened to me. And sometimes it's like almost a negotiation of like, will you give that to the show?
And that's why we have NDAs. We've got, we have all the showrunners always had guns.
Lawyers on site.
Lawyers in the
ready
room.
to issue paperwork.
Yes. So, and that at first I think was tough for the room to create trust.
It's funny though, like your show in particular, because writers' rooms is people telling awkward stories, and it's like this thing where you're like, do I tell these people who some of them I know well and some of them I don't? But like puberty stories, like some of them people must have been like, can I tell this to coworkers?
I was like, ew. Every time they did, I would go, ew. That's so fucking gross.
That's gross. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Ew.
Take lunch.
I think you take lunch.
Billy, take lunch.
Yeah, it was always.
And someone tells like a deeply personal story.
Billy
and you
Crystal.
Go, why don't you Billy
was in the
Crystal?
room.
Billy Crystal, take 5.
Have you ever had Michael Jackson on the podcast? Would you have Michael on?
Yeah,
Honest question.
If Michael were alive, I would consider having him on.
Okay.
One of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to know. Just wanted to know.
You just wanted to know? That was like a burning question for you?
Maybe it'll be on CNN tomorrow. Birbiglia wants Jackson on the podcast.
What if I had Woody?
Woody?
Woody
Harrelson?
I get Woody Allen up here on the third floor.
Talk about joke writing with Woody?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
What if Woody Allen loves this podcast?
He listens to it. He's just alone in an apartment playing the clarinet at a low volume, blasting you.
It's blasting through a Nokia flip phone. They somehow figured out how to get a podcast through a flip phone.
They got it for Woody. That was Sunyi's present.
Oh my God.
His 80th. Woody, we figured out how to get a podcast to play out of your Nokia.
Do you think so? Big Mouth is like a bird's eye view understanding of being a teenager. Adults is that of your 20s. You think you'll do the 30s? You think you'll do the 40s? You think you'll just take some time?
It was not intentional, but I think we're doing this new animated show. The Big Mouth team is doing a new show that'll come out like now a year from now. That is called Mating Season, and it's about animals dating and fucking in the woods.
That's fun.
Yeah. So that'll be, and that is that's older than the adults because it's like mating season. It's like people are starting to settle down.
20s and 30s.
Yeah, like people are like, you're like, oh, I guess I should be like looking for my partner for real. So it's those kind of like stories and stuff like that. So in a weird way, I guess I am there is a bit of that. And then I think the things that I'm making for myself are inherently going to be about, I'm working on all jokes aside, I am working on a movie called This Is 40.
Oh, This Is 40, which there already was one.
There was.
Yeah. Judd Apatow.
Judd Reinhold?
No, not Judd Reinhold. Judd Apatow did a movie.
Oh, Judge Reinhold.
No. Judd Apatow did a movie. Leslie Mann.
Judd Judy?
No, not Judge Judy.
No, I said Judd Judy.
Oh, not Judge Judy. Judd Apatow did it. He cast Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann, who's his wife.
I know both of those people.
And then their children, Maud and Iris.
Oh, I know Maud. Oh, Maud's dad made a movie?
Judd will enjoy this so much.
Will he?
Maud's dad made a movie. Maud's dad made a lot of movies.
No shit.
Yeah, Maud Apatow's dad made a ton of movies.
Uh-huh.
You're really stuck in this like adult's 20s mindset right now.
I can't get out of it.
Yeah,
this is where I live. That's how I do this. I go in.
Yeah, you do
I go in so deep.
You do go in deep.
I'm very method in when I create. You know?
I get it.
Like when we were making Big Mouth, I would go and wear my pajamas from when I was 13 and jerk off all over the country.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it really helped inform.
I think honestly,
for writing. If you want to talk about writing,
whatever it takes.
That's what it is. That's what it is, and that's what you got to do with your writing.
Do you think you'll show your kids Big Mouth?
My kids are under 5. I showed them The Exorcist, and I now feel like it was too. I feel like it was too early.
Oh, you showed
I did. My brother. I had an older brother. I don't know if you had this with your older siblings. We got to watch stuff earlier than they did.
For sure.
So like I did. My parents were away, and we had these babysitters who we later found out were heroin addicts, which is a crazy thing.
For real?
Yeah. Like my responsible parents let us stay with a guy who turned out to be a heroin addict.
It's hard.
And he wouldn't even give me a taste. But they we should have known because they were like letting my brother pick the movies, and they let him at 12 and I was 5. They let him watch The Exorcist, and they let me watch The Exorcist at 5. And I don't like scary movies. I was
No, you didn't answer the question.
What was the question?
Thank you. Gary's nodding. You didn't answer the question, which is, are you going to show your kids when it's the appropriate age?
Yes.
Big Mouth, because it is kind of
question.
a quintessential show to show people going through adolescence.
I will answer this with a question.
I hate you. Stop it.
Would you watch eventually all of Quinta Brunson's work and call it the quintessentials?
The quintessentials.
Okay, and now I will answer your question.
Okay.
But Quinta, if you want to talk about the quintessentials, we're available. I will let the kids watch the show. Andrew Goldberg, co-creator of the show, my dear friend from when I was 6 years old, who I made the show with. His kids, when we started the show, were very young, like the age of my kids.
Yeah.
Or a little older. And he always said, I will let them watch the show when they are the age of the kids in the show.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think that's right. Like, so like 6th, 7th grade, yeah, and you have to read who your kid is. But like, I think that when they're around that age, like I think it's, because there's much worse things they could be watching, is how I've always felt.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think I said this since season 1. It's a great service because it's funny and it actually is an icebreaker for like hard topics about puberty.
And I will say we made this spinoff called Human Resources, which we did 2 seasons of, and you were in and wonderful in, and like that is a weirdly like it's very much part of what the universe of what we created. It's up in the world of the monsters. It like worked well. People did like it, but wasn't big enough for them to keep making it. And the truth is, like, that show is also a really interesting one to dig in on, which really is more of just like the emotional, so many different aspects of a life lived, like your story. It's you and Ali, right? You and Ali Wong, and it's like a woman's about to have her first kid, and her husband, and and then postpartum, and like all that stuff. I mean, we went. We did not make it an easy, like, we're like, season 1 is postpartum depression, otherly developing, it's like
it's real life challenges,
real hard life challenges, but there's really cool, deep, funny, emotional stories in there.
Yeah. Before I go to slow round, Mabel or Gary, am I missing anything?
So, casting stories?
Oh yeah,
casting.
I
also want to talk about I Don't Understand You, the movie. I don't know if you're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Okay. Should we talk about that?
Yes, but I don't have questions for it.
Oh, that's fine.
But do you want me to ask a question about it?
Yeah, I'll just talk about it. Oh, tell me about it however you want to do it.
Say the name of it.
I won't. You have to figure it out. That's what's happening now. I'm pimping you into letting me promote something, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I've had this before. Say it again.
I will not say the name of the movie. And if she tells you the name of the movie,
Gary.
If he tells you,
Gary,
no. Excuse me.
Say it.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Think.
I don't know. Think.
I don't.
Come check out Nick Kroll in I Don't Know. Think.
I don't say.
Don't think twice.
Don't say this.
Don't say this.
I
don't understand. I don't think twice.
I don't
understand thinking
I don't
twice.
get under.
I don't
understand.
I don't understand
you. So I don't understand you. Tell me about the movie.
Well, what did you think of it?
I didn't see it, but I feel bad now that I didn't see it.
What?
I feel like you have so many projects. Stop it. You have so many projects. I'll talk about Don't Worry, Darling.
Great. Finally. Okay, good. All right, finally. How many
things are you in? You're in so many things.
I am in I can talk about this. So this movie, I Don't Understand You. It's me and Andrew Rannells. We go on we're a couple, 10 years together. We've been trying to adopt a kid. We're going on a vacation to Italy to it's our 10-year anniversary. It's supposed to be this fun trip, and we end up going to this, we're supposed to go to this little restaurant. We get caught in a rainstorm, and then shit goes down.
Yeah.
Halfway through the movie takes a very hard, I think funny, but thriller horror turn. And you feel like you're watching kind of one, a kind of a rom-com with he and I. And then it's just we just start fucking killing people.
Oh wow!
And then it's very farcical. It's in Italy. There's a lot of miscommunication. It's like a classic kind of farce miscommunication. And then we just start killing everybody. And it's really funny, and it's fun and kind of scary. It's in theaters.
Oh wow!
It'll be in theaters June 6th, and it's a fun one to go to the movie theater too.
Did you audition for that movie, or were you asked to be in the movie?
Me and Rannells, they went to Andrew, and they were like, we think Nick could be good for it. And the directors are David Craig and Brian Crano. They're a real life couple. They had gone through a very long, somewhat harrowing adoption process.
Yeah.
Including getting like scammed and then.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
what a
like
nightmare.
Either it's like a real, it was a real, but then their son is in like the son they eventually did adopt.
Yeah.
Is in the movie and is at the weigh-in and is like the most adorable. It's like a really beautiful like,
Right.
and this boy is like such a sweet kid.
But that was a scam though. It was a full size adult.
It was yeah.
when
the
that child
first
was
one
delivered.
showed up.
Yeah.
The first one showed
That's
up.
right. When the first one showed his full
Yeah,
size adult.
it was Frank Stallone. They go, here's your baby. He's like, hey. Not even sly.
Yeah.
So that's how they thought they'd get away with it, except for, this is speaking of Paul Rudd, who's in Maud's dad's movies.
Yep.
Right?
Maud's dad's movie has Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm stealing this from him. It's so funny to me. I'm just going to say it out loud. Paul, if you're mad, I'm so sorry.
We're sorry.
I'm like, Robin, I'm a sponge. He's like, Paul Rudd, I remember telling this story. He's like, I think I saw Frank Stallone one day, and the reason I think it was Frank Stallone is because he was wearing a hat that said Frank Stallone. So, Paul, I'm sorry if you're going to use that for panel or something, and now I've used it.
We're good. I think we're good on that. All right. This is a slow round. The slow round is...
Slow me down. Is this where we talk about slow horses? Because I haven't watched it.
This whole thing is about slow horses. What are people's favorite and least favorite thing about you?
Okay. You want me to slow it down now?
Yeah. Slow it
Okay.
down.
People's favorite and least favorite things about me. I feel when I'm at those events... Like this last, because I have
Like
been
the
putting out
premiere of Adults and Big Mouth?
like these 3 weeks have been, and I had like the Comedy versus Cancer benefit,
Yes.
which you've done many times
Love
the week
it.
before, and my wife Lily is opened these lawns in Madison Square Park that you very kindly
Yes. That was
came
awesome, too.
straight off of like a long travel and came in and read these stories for kids, like comedian story time
fun.
for kids. It's been this
And you're
period
doing
of time.
it. You're doing it.
We're going to do it
June
again.
14th.
Thank you. Yes.
That's great.
So, but this has been a very highly condensed period of time that I've put out like 10, 15 years collectively of work
Yeah.
in a very short time, which is what we were talking about earlier. So it's been
So
a
much stuff.
weirdly amazing moment and an incredibly just draining, weirdly draining experience of
Yeah.
releasing all this stuff at once. So when I'm at those events, I think I feel like I could have been a politician.
Right.
Like I'm real like, hey, Mikey, come here, give me a hug, come here.
Sure.
Ted's here. Mikey, let's go say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I feel like people would, in my mind, at times I'm like, people think I am a politician, which
Yeah.
is both a skill and
Like a fraud.
yeah, and a fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
My kid in the pool was swimming the other week, and he's like under 5, and he just was swimming. He goes, "My dad's a fraud."
Is this for real?
Yeah.
My dad's a fraud.
My dad's a fraud, and I was like, "Man, this kid gets it.
He ain't wrong.
He ain't wrong."
Which part is wrong?
Yeah.
But what's people's favorite thing about you?
I think that I'm a politician.
Oh, it's the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing because like I can
Right, you go
be at a
big.
thing with you and lock in for an amount of time and have a genuine like experience with you,
Yeah.
like we're doing here today.
Yeah.
That is also fraught and slightly fraud. No, that like is sort of like, you know what I mean?
What's funny, like I was thinking about it's like I don't see the thing you were describing. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what you mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I never thought about it that way because I've always thought of you because we've known each other 26 years. It's like, yeah, 26 years.
Jesus Christ.
I know, but like I think of you when people ask me to describe my relationship with you. I'm like he's my brother. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like we're not even friends anymore.
No, I'm Joe Bags.
you're Joey Bag of Donuts Part 2.
Yeah, I take everything out of a green room.
Yeah,
No,
but we're like
LaCroix left behind.
but there's no, here's how I put it, like there's no favor that you would ask me that I wouldn't just be like, yeah, if I can do it, I will do it.
Give me a quart of blood right now.
I would do it.
Give me your next hour.
I'll give you my next hour.
Give me the next hour.
I'll write you 10 minutes. I'll write you 10 minutes.
Honestly.
That's how much I can do. No, but I always say, like, you're like my brother. And also, like, I was thinking about, like, what would be the thing that if I asked you for, you'd be like, all right, don't ask me for that. Is there a bridge too far?
What wouldn't I do? I wouldn't do this podcast.
Okay.
Right? We're off camera, right?
This is off camera.
There's
This is all
no
off
mics.
camera.
I got to protect my joy.
Okay. Who are you jealous of?
I'm jealous of, frankly, of all of my longtime friends and collaborators. I'm a little jealous of all of them, and it's partly why I become friends with them. Because I see, like, I do see talent and get attracted to it. And so with almost everyone that I've known and collaborated with for a long time, I'm like jealous of what they have, and so
Sexy talent.
I try to like bring it into the fold so that I can profit from it too.
That's right.
I guess is sort of true, even that I said it with a face that meaning like it was somehow evil.
No, it is true.
You know what I mean?
That's an astute observation, though. I think even romantic love, and I feel like you're attracted to Lily's talent. I'm attracted to Jenny's talent.
Totally.
I mean, there is part of it.
And I think in our cases, it's nice to have someone who has talents that are different than yours. And I think that's helpful. Like I think it is helpful for me to have a partner who's a really talented artist who does something very different than I do, and we can appreciate each other what we do and not feel like that element of the relationship is also somehow in direct conversation.
For people who don't know, what Lily does is, I think it's called landscape architecture. She does
Landscape
this,
design.
Yeah,
and she does like
design.
large scale botanical art,
It's like
and also
stunning. We were just at one of her exhibitions.
she did like in Madison Square Park. She has like a lawn that she did like a meditation garden labyrinth that she designed, and then like a children's garden space, and she does all kinds of things like that are
so cool.
Super. And it's fun to talk to her about what she does, and I definitely talk to her about what I do. And she was and is like a real comedy fan. Like she was a real fan of yours before we met, and then I lifted the veil about how everything works, like the magic trick of it all. And
yeah.
Can I tell you?
He builds it backwards.
He builds it back.
He built that.
He starts at the end.
At the end.
So.
And then it's not even that sophisticated.
It's actually.
It's easy.
Even
any
fool,
of us could do it.
A fool could do it.
Yeah.
So, but I do think, I'll tell you, and you can use this or not use this.
Okay.
But me and Lily came to see your show at the Cherry Lane. We had just started dating.
Oh my gosh.
And it was one of our first, it was not our first dates, but it was like one of our first kind of dates. And my parents were also planning on going. And so we ended up going together, Lily and me and my parents. And like, the truth is it was earlier in the relationship than I would normally have like my girlfriend meet my parents. But there's something about her, but also it was so early and it was so sort of, to like go to your show together. It wasn't like, oh, you're like meeting my parents.
Right.
And if people have a chance, go see Meet the Parents.
Oh yeah, Meet the Parents.
Very
classic
funny
film. I mean, it's not really in the news right now, but sure, yeah.
But go. It's actually they're making a fourth one.
Oh, that's true. They're making a fourth.
Ariana Grande signed on.
Oh, she did.
I'm in Meet the Fockers, the third one. I'm a doctor in it because they had cast a kid in it who, in the middle of shooting, developed a tic, and so they had to recast the kid and then reshoot a bunch of the scenes in the movie with a new kid, and I got cast as the new young doctor.
Oh wow.
And I spent a day there, and I was like, De Niro's just sitting there for coverage, you know, and I'm like, this is the deja vu that must be his life, that he's like already shot this scene where for the 30th time he's gonna say to Stiller like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And I trying to make conversation with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go, I've been to the Greenwich Hotel where he's like an owner or part owner,
like that, yeah.
and his father did the art around it. Like you see a lot of paintings in there. They're like his father painted them, and I was like, that'll be my way. I'll be like, your father's art is really beautiful. He's like, oh, thanks so much. I was like, do you ever stay there at the Greenwich? He's like, at a hotel in New York.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny.
And I was like, anyway.
It's like
all right, I think they're calling us back.
It's like a nightmare of a conversation with like an idol.
Yeah, totally.
You're like, give me something here.
Can I just
at a hotel in New York?
New York, where I live. Anyway, that's all to say. I don't remember. What were we talking about?
So you were at the Cherry Lane show.
So it was like an
with
early
Lily.
date with Lily, and happened to be my parents were there also. So it has an extra resonance, that show for me, and it's a great show. It was the show that eventually went to Broadway, the first one that went to Broadway.
The new one.
Yes,
the new one. It's called.
Yeah. And I remember still you had all the toys drop.
Toys drop, yeah.
At the Cherry Lane. That was probably not an easy undertaking every night.
No, as a matter of fact, our producer Mabel dropped them from the ceiling.
Really?
She was like in high school.
And then she fell famously, and you
famously fell
she hired
with the toys, and that was the one they reviewed for the Times.
I know.
Yes.
How it happens.
No, and they said it works.
They said it worked.
They said the high schooler falling from the ceiling. We don't know why, but it works.
It works if the show feels fresh every night.
So then
you never
when
know
it went
what's
to
gonna
Broadway,
happen.
we had to hire a different teenager every night to die from falling from the ceiling because it's Broadway and it's got to work.
It's got to work. If it's on Broadway, it's got to work. If we're gonna sell tickets, we need dead teens every night.
And then at a certain point,
and that's how they came up with Dear Evan Hansen.
Well, it was diminishing returns where the audiences weren't as excited about the dead teenager falling from the ceiling. So then it was like 5 teenagers, 10 teenagers.
Yeah.
Then it was like 25 teenagers falling from the ceiling to their death every night. We're talking about thousands of teenagers.
Yeah, but you stayed in the papers, and that's what you got to do to make it on Broadway, baby. You got to stay in the trades.
We stayed in the papers.
You got to stay in the papers.
Oh,
Walter
God,
Winchell,
page
right?
5.
Yeah, every night on page 5.
All right, we gotta get through some more of the slow round.
Okay,
You
but
are so
I still haven't.
fucking digressive.
I know.
It's insane. You make me look focused.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
But I do want to just quickly say for your next show, my pitch is back to the top of this bit, is you do a show called Diminishing Returns. Where,
Is any of this usable?
Yes, it's all usable. It's all going to be great. It's going to be great. But here's the thing where, so Lily...
This is what it's like to be in the writer's room of Big Mouth all the time.
Yes, sort of.
Like Nikki doing
disruptive
impressions.
bits.
Yeah.
But I guess that is how I ultimately work, is like I just explode and then either self-edit or have people help me coalesce it. But I'm playing a bit of a part here today.
A heel.
I'm playing a bit of the heel for
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Yes. And except it's not a heel to the audience, it's just a heel to you alone. So we went to the show, Lily and I went, and you walk on stage and you're putting the mic on and you're making your tea.
Sure.
And Lily was like, I love how casual, like how much Mike is just like sort of walking out and starting this thing. And I was like, oh, that's fake. He's doing that. This is part of
does it
him.
every night.
He does it every night. He's setting up what he does. And Lily was like, no, like whatever, was like, huh. And then watched the special and was like, oh, wow, okay, that is what he was doing,
That's sweet.
But to your credit, she still and I still like love the craft of what you do.
Thanks.
Like it is all of this like crafted thing, and I don't think it diminishes it to understand over time what that process is.
It's a trick.
It's a magic trick.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received that you used?
Don't talk to icons about their parents' paintings.
Okay. Smart.
Unless you have
specific.
Somewhere useful to go.
Really specific, though.
There's probably a lot of people whose parents are painters.
Can I have an actual answer for best piece of advice someone's given you that you used?
Digress.
Digress.
C. Tyson. Neil Digress Tyson. Neil Digress Tyson is what I am. Except he talks about like the planets and everywhere, and I just do bits.
So your answer is Neil deGrasse Tyson. To the question that is, what's the best piece of advice someone's given you that you use? Your answer is Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil Digress Tyson. Best piece of advice
Get the fuck out of my office.
You know what it is?
Get the fuck out of my office.
I would love to, but I gotta take a shower before I leave. So the best piece of advice I wasn't even part of, but I remember in the early 2000s there was that show Iconoclasts
I
on
remember
like
that.
Sundance.
Beautiful show.
And it was like
that series is unbelievable. I remember Chappelle and Maya Angelou.
Yeah. Well,
was
so
one of them.
that's-
so it's like people, icons interviewing each other.
Yes. In that interview, there's a piece of advice that Chappelle is talking to Maya Angelou about like getting criticized or like critics. And she's like, if you don't pick up the compliments, then you don't have to pick up the critiques either.
That's right.
In some, it was some version of that.
Or if you take one, you have to take the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
I've heard that before. I think it's super smart.
Yeah. If you do what we do, which is like, you have to figure out how to make your art and like, let it be what it is. And if you start to get too obsessed with how people are like complimenting it or critiquing it, it just is like an exhausting endeavor. So you really have to be able to figure out a way to sort of, what I've tried to do over time is find joy in the making of the thing, because the final outcome of it is a bit, even if you can control it, is out of your control.
You know who said that?
Who?
Neil Digression Tyson.
Neil Digression Tyson is probably better.
Neil Digression Tyson's a good character for the Kroll Show.
Oh my God. Let's get it going.
Oh God.
Paramount, give me a call. Everything good over there?
You have a joke that I thought was really funny, and then I was like, oh, I basically had written the same joke in another way. I saw you at Largo do the thing about how the phrase 100% never means 100%.
Yeah. Oh no! Is that your? I want to talk about 100.
I think
I want to talk about 100% a lot, but that's a funny. The way you phrase that is actually a very smart.
Wait, what's your phrasing of it?
I'm like, we're talking about 100%. We're saying it too much. It's everywhere. It's too much. And then I wish we could use actual percentages for things.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So. But the way you just phrase it, wait, how did you just phrase it?
I just said the phrase 100% never refer. When people say 100%, it's never 100%.
Yes, that's.
And then I wrote it on tag, which is no kidding almost never involves kidding or ambiguity about kidding.
That's funny. Yeah. No, I'm no kidding.
No kidding.
No kidding.
No kidding.
100%.
100%.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I know.
100%. You are beautiful.
100%.
Never means you're beautiful.
Yes.
Never means you're beautiful. Beautiful never means you're beautiful. It's always just like, oh my God,
here's a joke.
You are beautiful.
Oh my God, 100%.
It's like what you 100%. No kidding.
No kidding. You are beautiful.
No, you're stunning.
100%.
Where's that quote from? Heaven?
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, where did you get that?
I got it from Jesus Christ. Wait,
You know who's the savior? Jesus Christ, 100%.
Oh my God, 100%. But if you once
Lord
you
and
start,
Savior though,
Lord and Taylor.
All right, this is the next thing I wrote down. In Rome last year, we went to Rome, back to Rome. Mm-hmm. My daughter noticed a billboard for sunscreen, and it had all this graffiti on it, where it was like a person, and then it was like graffiti of like dicks on their face.
Sure.
And she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a wand." Because it's like, I didn't have the heart to tell her it was a dick. It felt like it was too young to pass on that wisdom. And then I just wrote this. It's a notebook stuff, but I wrote down dick graffiti is the ultimate heckle. It's like, nice try with that drawing. You know, it might help. Dicks.
Has she seen Harry Potter yet?
I think we saw one of them.
Because it'd be funny if she sees the Harry Potter and she sees the wand in that.
That's funny. Calling it back to the Harry Potter movie, I think is funny.
You know what I mean? She's like, Dad, I just watched Harry Potter and they're all waving dicks around.
Right.
Or something like the wand. Like she now interprets a wand to be a.
Yeah, I like that.
I was in Rome. I've been trying to write. I guess I'm just going to do it. You know, do you have that? I'm trying to understand how to work it out, Mike.
Yeah. No, I know.
Because it's like, how do you work on what the joke is? You don't mind showing the process. And
No.
I'll do that on stage, but somehow my weird thing becomes like, well, now what is this? You know what I mean? Like I get stuck in the like, what is the working it out? Am I going to work it out here?
You're like a quintessential example, and I've talked about this on this podcast before. You're a quintessential example of there's people like me who like do this. I type out everything. I write in notebooks, and then over time I just hone the words. You're a person where you're like, you have an idea.
Yeah.
And you go on stage at Largo or wherever it is, and you just riff on it, and it fucking crushes, and then you figure it out. And it's just a different process.
Or it doesn't crush, and I then figure out what works or what doesn't, and abandon the stuff that sometimes I should. I will get lazy, though, and improvise something, and then come back to the improv to and I'm going to pitch it now for myself, my new show, Diminishing Returns. So I'm taking the show back. I hope that's okay, Mike.
Diminishing Returns.
I realize that is what my show is. But I will slowly... But part of me is like, this is how I should do it, is like this, is just like record it all and then the good stuff sticks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you have new bits you're working on right now that are kind of formed or half formed?
Well, I'm like talking about being in Rome because we made this movie in Rome.
Yeah.
And like, so I've been talking about Italy in general, and like, I don't think it's that fucking cool. Like, I think Italy's like fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm sort of like everybody loves Italian food, you know? You know who else makes good Italian food? Fucking everybody.
Everybody.
It's the easiest food to make good.
Yes. You know who makes good Italian food? Everybody.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
So I've been thinking about Rome because I feel like Rome, and we shot this movie there. It was a month of night shoots. It's like the movie all takes place basically like one crazy rainy, muddy night and murder. There's like, so I'm like wet. We were shooting like an hour outside of Rome. It was like a somewhat actually not at all what we had imagined. Like when I signed on to do the movie, I was like, I'm going to go make a movie in Rome.
Right.
Anyway, so the time I had in Rome was somewhat limited, and I really was like, I kept feeling like Rome is like a class trip to Washington, D.C. It's like not that, you know what I mean? Like,
right. It's not what you'd hoped.
It's just like a bunch of buildings made by monsters years ago.
That's funny.
You know, like,
I always thought that when I was in Rome last year, where you see these statues of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, like in real life, there's like big statues, but you know that they were just like these tough guys in Jersey. Like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, make a statue of me.
Yeah, I had the same feeling in Rome, which is like, if you had a statue of you, you were probably a fucking monster.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a truly terrible person.
Especially if you commissioned it.
Of
Because some of them
course.
did.
Oh,
So
all
they
the
commissioned
time.
their own fucking statues.
That's why I only let the fans make my stuff.
Oh, I only let the fans make the statues.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a really hardcore fan, you can make a statue of me. But like the new fans, if you've only seen one of the specials,
if you only seen one of them,
don't get near me with those statues.
don't get even close to me with those stupid statues you make them.
That's great though.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Have you
I
been
don't-
doing it on stage?
I've been doing it on stage, and it was all sort of like towards like now the press for this movie. And then
Right.
I'm like, oh, do I hold on to it? Do I keep doing it? You know? But it's a funny thing. What I found unrelatable about it, when I do it in New York and LA, it's an easier joke to do because I would set up being like, oh, it's summertime. You don't worry, you're not going to be jealous of your friends who are in Italy this summer. And like it works in New York and LA where like privileged assholes have friends who go to Italy.
Right.
And you're like looking at them on Instagram, but it's not necessarily the most relatable joke to do around the country.
Yeah.
Where people are like, none of my friends are going to fucking Italy this summer.
Totally.
Yeah.
And this will be my last bit. I was in this college town recently, and there was this like this like bro dude hanging out with 3 girls on a stoop, and this other guy walked by with like a quirky hat, and the frat bro just goes, "Fire beanie, bro," and the college kid just shrunk. And I feel like we've spent so much time as a culture obsessing about how college kids are so different from when we were in college. And actually, I think they're exactly the same. I think bullies are just generic bullies through time. Because I could see the college kid just shrink. And I wanted to say to him, hey, you're going to win in life. Don't worry about it. But then I realized that if I said that to him, he would look at me and he would think that's what winning looks like. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Fire beanie, bro.
Fire beanie, bro.
It's the beginning of something.
Yes. I think that's... Do you feel like you got bullied in college?
In college, no. In high school.
You
it
got
was
bullied in
rough.
high school,
Ninth
yeah?
grade was tough.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, there was a bully named George. And he used to walk up to me and he'd go, hey, Mike, this is you. And then he'd walk at a 45-degree angle. And that was the whole impression. And everyone would laugh.
That's a pretty funny impression. That's the thing is, the bullies might peak in high school, but if they've got it,
Right, if they've got it.
then they've got it, and they become like Donald Trump.
Right.
You know what I
Or
mean?
Hollywood producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Hollywood producers?
I love them. I love this one.
I'm a Hollywood producer.
I know. I love this one.
I love this one.
Adults, big mouth, human resources.
And what's the name of the movie, Mike?
The movie is a movie I love. I remember I see. I understand you.
I understand you.
I don't understand you.
I don't understand you.
I don't understand you.
I don't understand you, Mike.
The last thing we do on the show is called Working Out for a Cause. And we give to a nonprofit. I think there's two that come to mind. The Gardens that we just did the event for, or the cancer organization that we've done the benefit for and does amazing work. I've actually talked to backstage at those events to the scientists and doctors, and they're
it's
incredible.
Crazy. Yeah.
Is it Sloan Kettering?
It's Memorial Sloan Kettering.
Yes.
And it's the show we do every year, and we're starting to do other stuff called Comedy versus Cancer.
Yes.
And it's amazing. Memorial Sloan Kettering is one of the foremost cancer hospitals and research centers in the world, and we're specifically focused on like blood cancer research, and so like a lot of stuff that's now moving away from like chemotherapy to other treatments that are finding tremendous success. So it's amazing talking to the doctors every year, and also having people who came through MSK and have survived and are now in remission, and it's really cool.
And it's also very important at this particular moment in history when science research is being cut back by the government to support places, I think, like Sloan Kettering, because they do amazing work.
However, let's talk about NPR, PBS. Let's cut that funding.
Jeez.
They're taking too much.
Wow,
and also, the other one that I want to say is kudos for taking money, trying to cut funding in the national parks, they cost almost $15 million a year. And then
your special on YouTube, which is great, it's called Lefty.
Lucky Lefty, yeah.
Lucky Lefty.
Yeah.
I.e. your testicle.
Yes.
Because you had testicular cancer.
I did.
You said that you have a fake ball. You have a fake ball.
Yes.
Prosthetic ball.
Correct.
What's it made of?
Silicone. I got a titty in my balls. It's my favorite. I like that line so much. I like that line a lot.
So when there's no nerve endings in it, right? So you can't
feel anything.
You can't feel it, but you can.
I'm aware of its
existence. Other ball can feel it.
Yeah. They're together.
So there's some symmetry.
Oh yeah, they're together. They're hanging out. I feel like the left one. It took a little while for it to get used to the new partner in town. But they have to. It's an arranged marriage now. They're growing together, living together.
How far into getting it taken out were you like, I'm talking about this on stage?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like, okay, this is something I have to talk about, because I had come off like a year of touring.
Yeah.
I taped my first special, Thank You China, in December 21.
Yeah.
January 2022, I have 15 shows left before I can take like a 2-week break.
Yeah.
And then I got to go back out on the road.
Yeah.
And I had nothing, because I was going back to some of the same cities.
Right.
Like I was like just back out.
This is the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Exactly.
Cancer.
Yeah, it was just like, all right. That literally fell in my lap. Like when I was like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? And then I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to talk about. And like, if you go back to, if I were to show you my notes from last year,
yeah,
I was literally writing it down every day. Like the things that had, just like marking down everything that happened.
Every doctor visit.
Yeah. Not even, it was just like anything strange that happened that day. You
right.
know, like as a writing technique, I try to start every year saying I'm going to recap the previous day every morning. Right?
Yes.
It's like a fun, important exercise just for your own brain, and my memory's starting to go. So I was like, let me do some shit. And so I was doing that already. I was in that habit. And so when this happened, I was like, oh, this is why this habit is good. This is why I'm going to just take notes every day.
Yeah.
And every day something stupid happened.
Wow.
And so in those like 5 days, I got at least 10 minutes a day, and then I whittled that down to what it became.
That's huge.
Yeah. It was just like just sitting.
That's inspiring me right now.
Just sitting.
You saying that is making me be like, I got to write tonight.
Yeah, but like just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just recap what happened, and then your brain will be like, oh, that is funny. How do I make that funny? What's funny about it? Or like, what lie can I make up about something that happened today?
Yeah,
that would end up being funny.
Right. What's an exaggeration of something that occurred today that's funny?
Exactly. But luckily, every day, something that was true happened, that I didn't have to make some shit up.
Wow.
And I was just like, this is crazy. This is going to be a very fun thing to write.
It's crazy. Like, there's all this discussion, like we talk on this show a lot about like how do you find your voice as a comic and all this stuff, and it's like literally what you're saying is how you find your voice.
Yeah.
You write every day, you write down what happened, and guess what? That's your voice.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, what? And then hopefully your brain eventually trains itself to, on like the third sentence that you write or say, it's something funny. You know? Like over time, your brain just becomes that way of operating. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't realize this at the time, but like, you wrote for Chris Rock's Oscars in
2016, yeah, when he hosted.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was my first writing job.
That's unbelievable.
You're telling me, yeah.
Was that just from meeting him at the Comedy Cellar?
No, that was before the Cellar. It was.
You weren't even past at the Cellar?
No. That was a pivotal in my, if ever I write a biography or whatever it is.
Yeah.
On my epitaph, on my tombstone, it will be like that. It's like a checkpoint in my comedy life.
Yeah, or would be in anyone.
Right. It was 2015. I just got rejected from Montreal for like the third time. And I was really like, what? I was really mad.
Yeah.
Right. More than anything, I was just like, come on. And July 2015 or so, August 2015, I think it was, Chris is coming to see Langston Kerman. Remember, you did Matchless a bunch of times, Broken Comedy, which is a show Che and I ran with our friend Mike Denny. And he's coming to see Langston Kerman.
This is before Michael Che was on SNL, I think.
No, it was right before. But I think he had just gotten Daily Show. It was like that summer almost.
It was that moment. It was Michael Che's moment.
Yeah. and he's coming to see Langston.
Yeah.
He's late, Chris is. And so Langston can't go up. No other comic is there who hasn't already gone up. And I'm like, well, Chris is coming? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going up. Chris walks in. I go up, have a great set. Chris tells me I'm funny afterwards. I'm like, that's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
It's like The Ring.
Yeah. I
you
made
won The Ring.
I made it at that moment to me.
For sure.
And then like 3 months later, he got the hosting job, and I got an email saying, come write.
No way.
I swear. I still got the email.
That is one of the most affirming things I think that can possibly happen.
Oh, it was insanity.
Is that someone who you respect to that degree just says like, nah, I think what you're doing is good. They don't even have to say you're that good.
No, he's
you go, hey, you're good.
I mean, you've met Chris a billion times. I'm like, you know that face?
Yeah.
That incredulous face?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're really funny.
Yeah.
You're Chris Rock.
Yeah, he does that thing.
Yeah. What?
He goes, he's saying, girlfriends, boyfriends, good. It's good. And then he's like thinking about it. He's like, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's like I surprised him or something.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a through line to what you're saying between like when you found out you had cancer and you're writing stuff down every day, and then you're pitching jokes to Chris Rock years ago for the Oscars. It all, and like some of them bomb and whatever. It all, like on this show, we talk about process so much. It so much comes back to just like doing it and doing it and doing it. It's all just repetition.
Yeah, it's like anything you want to get good at. It's just you just got to do it all the time.
Like I feel like a lot of times when people ask me for advice, it's like they want me to say the hack that's like you don't have to do the work.
Yeah. You
can do this other thing so you don't have to do the work. And like I don't know what to tell you. No. I just don't know what to tell you. You have to do it.
It's the hack is discipline. Like
it is.
It's just discipline.
Do you view yourself as disciplined?
Not at all.
Then how do you find it?
I have
when you're writing for Chris or you're writing notes when you get cancer every day, like how do you find it?
I have to give myself a pressurized deadline or situation or goal that I'm aiming at.
This is great.
And
I'm saying this is great because I mean it's great for me. It's just a reminder to me to do it.
Yeah. It's everyone should do it in anything you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Whether it be writing or bicep curls, whatever it is. So like for me, I got to set with myself a goal, and then I have to like remind myself I have this goal and then get to work on it, because otherwise I'll just do it like a week before the thing is due.
Yeah.
Or like if I have to go out on tour, I'll wait like a week before to like start cracking on this hour. But right now I know I have 2 months until I go back out.
Yeah.
For real. And so I got to make sure I utilize that time. And it's just like a matter of at least putting the work in every day somehow.
I had Ira Glass on, and he was saying this piece of advice about basically like, if you want to do anything in the creative space, like start today. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't blah, blah, blah. Even what I'm saying, like what you're saying to me right now is inspiring me. It really is. And I think about this stuff all the time, and just you saying it, we've known each other for a long time. Like I see you at the Cellar killing all the time.
I'm working.
And like,
thank you.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. It's just like, for me, it just like gives me a push. I'm like, oh yeah. You know what's funny is the first time you and I ended up, I think, having a substantial conversation at the Comedy Cellar was about your op-ed about your gig at Columbia.
Yes.
Because you did a thing on the New York Times about how the story that you have is my worst nightmare, which is that you did a college, you said a joke that they didn't like, and then they he gave you the hook. They gave you the hook.
Yes. I wish they had a hook. At least.
Right.
It would have been that would have been okay with if they had an actual
cut your mic or grab you or something?
No, they cut the mic. And that was
They cut your mic.
That hurt my feelings. It was just
So when you say they cut your mic, is the microphone off but you're talking regular?
I'm holding the mic, and there's the 3 young women who kicked me off are on stage, and they tell me to say closing remarks, and as I'm giving them, I try a joke that like I try to make it a conversation, but it's a joke.
Yeah.
And falls flat.
Yeah.
And then like I forget what I was saying afterwards, and then at mid sentence, like, oh, you cut my mic, and then I'm like, all right, cool.
So they walked on while you're doing stand up at Columbia.
Correct.
And they say you're done, basically.
Yes.
Could you please come off?
Correct.
I mean, this is wild. How many people in the audience?
A couple hundred for sure.
And are you doing well with the audience?
I'm not bombing, but I'm not killing. It's a college. It's a like auditorium. It's not made for comedy. I followed breakdancers and poets. All right. I'm closing a show full of really heartfelt poetry, breakdancing, and a bunch of other Asian shit. And I'm just like, all right, what are we doing here? I know this is going to be an uphill battle, and it was. But
the joke was good that you said, and it actually not even offensive. It's like
a
kind
progressive
of
joke, and about being gay can't be a choice because no one would choose to be gay if they're already black, right?
Right.
And which, if you think about it, is a fairly progressive statement, and it's just like
pro-gay and it's pro-black.
Yeah, as I say it, and as I stopped doing it for a very long time before that show. But I had to fill an hour, and I was like, I don't have an hour that I'm happy with, and I need something well structured. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what jokes I can put in. I was like, oh, that joke would work really well here because I was making fun of Mike Pence. And I said the tag to the joke is the only person that chooses to be gay is Mike Pence. He chooses to not be gay every day. Like that's like what I was trying to get at. but
it was a segue joke.
Yeah, it really was. It was a transition joke, and that hit people's ear wrong. And I'm like, when I was saying it, then I stopped doing it because like, who cares? This is too woke for me. Like I didn't want to be that clapter kind of person, and so I was like, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. And but I had to do it because I needed to fill the time.
Yeah. And
the lesson there is like, just write more new shit. Like, you don't have to do the old shit. And that was it. And after I said that, like maybe 10 minutes later, they were on stage. Like, you got to go. You're not entitled to those jokes. And I thought about it. They're right.
So you do think they're right?
No, not at all. No, absolutely not. What are we? Are you serious?
One of the reasons I love it is that everybody goes, you can't tell. Everybody who's not in comedy always says to me, you can't tell jokes anymore. And I'm always like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, one of my friends can't.
Yeah.
And it's you. Like, that's my only example.
I know, that's the thing. It's like, and I'm doing better than I've ever done.
Right.
And after that, I did better than I ever did.
Right, it kind of blew you up.
The college gigs that I did get after that, they were like, nah, talk about it. We're not like that.
Yeah.
You could say whatever the fuck you want here.
Yeah.
Thank God for the South, okay?
Oh my God.
Thank God for those colleges.
God.
They might
You
be,
booked like 3 colleges in the South?
they might be Christian, but God damn it. Those Christians have a good sense of humor.
Well, weirdly, you probably became like a signpost for right-wing people.
I became, or for at least some people, I became like, see, with that,
Yeah.
right wing, the liberal colleges are taking down their own because
Yeah.
the right, quote unquote.
Well, that's one of their causes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They saw me as my favorite tagline was like the left eating their own. I was like, oh, you just assume I'm left, quote unquote. And I am. I'm progressive, so to speak, but like I'm not like one of these like hyper vigilant liberal people.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like so that was like a big
That was just a
thing in
full
that book.
assumption.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Based on you not being white.
white, exactly, yes. 1,000%.
Which is kind of hilarious on its own.
Yes.
Too. Which is the left eating its own and they don't even ask you what your political
No,
affiliation is.
just a automatic assumption. Well, I was ex-SNL writer gets
Yeah.
kicked off stage from Ivy League University / is Indian. Like, isn't this crazy? And that was a large part of the narrative for a while. But what was it?
Wait, did you go to Ivy League?
No, I went to NYU.
Oh, okay.
Rejected from Columbia twice. Okay? Twice.
Once from applying, once
Yes,
on stage.
yes.
Yeah,
Waitlisted and then rejected. We thought about it a bit longer and we've decided we were right in not letting you in the first time.
You graduated in 2008 with like a finance degree in
Yeah,
like
man.
the financial crisis.
That was, I often say that's why I became a comedian. 'Cause
Yeah.
graduating with a finance degree in 2008 was about the funniest thing you could do. And I don't want to say I'm not just a victim of that circumstance. I was also not the best student in college. And so, like, I came into college, like, thinking I was hot shit, you know?
Yes.
Went to NYU, fucking destroyed my SATs.
Yeah.
Freshman year, I got a 4.0 GPA. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to transfer to their business program, Stern undergrad.
Yeah.
And because how hard could math be? And
Yeah.
and then I'm competing with people who have been like trading stocks since they were like 9.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know how the market works.
Right. Like, weirdly, comedy is a better bet.
Yes. And so I got in and I did that, but I graduated in 2008, jobless and very uncertain about what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I was listless.
Wow.
And for like a year and change, I was unemployed, underemployed. Got the bug, 2009, August, stand-up.
Yeah.
Did it for the first time. I was like, this don't seem that hard.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah.
You just had good sets right away.
I had a good set the first time.
Yeah.
Because it was
But
it
you're
was the
good
bringer at Stress Factory. What's that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my first show ever.
That's so funny.
I brought 20 of my cousins.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So a bringer show, for people who don't know, because Zarna Garg was on the show and she's talked about bringer shows and like people are like, what's a bringer show? And so I
Right.
feel like I have to explain to people, you have to basically bring your own.
You gotta
audience.
harass your family to pay like $20 and then drinks and chicken fingers.
It's the pyramid scheme of starting out in comedy.
100%, except it ends with that first show. You know, like that's
Yeah, it
Well,
ends with the first show, unless you get you want to do more of it.
Yeah, I tapped certain friends a lot early on, and my family a lot early on to do those bringers. And after that, like once I did that show, I was like, it didn't seem that difficult. I'm smart. I went to NYU, graduated with a finance degree. How hard could comedy be?
Yeah.
And it was insanely difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
So you were like, right out of the gate, you're at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, and you're like, well, this is good. I'm
Yeah.
going to be really good at this.
Yeah, I can try this.
Yeah.
And it seems like the investment is merely my time, which as an unemployed
Yeah.
And my kid,
2008.
I got plenty.
2009.
I got plenty of time, and then it became my goal because I was living at home to then move to New York, like micro goal there. Like I didn't want to. I was taking a bus from my parents' place at like 3:00 in the afternoon, so I can hit open mics like 5. And if I missed that 3:30 bus, I would have to take the 4:00 bus, and then I would be destroyed in traffic.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in that traffic like, oh fuck.
For the younger listeners, what a bus is. Yeah. It's this big metal contraption that usually has 8 or 10 wheels on it.
Yep. And people who don't want to drive or have been banned from driving by the government still have jobs, have to go to work. They take the bus.
Do you remember your first joke that worked where you're like, oh, it's a good joke?
Yes. It was my McDonald's chicken nugget arbitrage bit. I don't know, it's very long, but it's based on a true story where I went to this McDonald's at 51st and 3rd one night, and I was drunk and about to go to my friend's place, like, let me get some nuggets. And so I go into the McDonald's, and there's 2 lines, but like on the menu I'm looking like, all right, how much are 20 nuggets? And 20 nuggets is like $8.
Yeah. And
I was like, okay, that's weird, that's a lot. Because you can get 5-piece nuggets for $1.
Mm-hmm.
So, or 4-piece nuggets for $1. So I was like, okay, well, if I just get 5 of those, that's $5. This is $8 for the same amount of nuggets. Like, why? The box can't cost $3 more. Like, what are y'all doing over here? And so I didn't do this, but I just argued with the cashier. I was like, do you understand what the this is preposterous. But like the joke I said was like they had 2 lines at this McDonald's, so I ordered a 4-piece nugget and tell them to put it in a 20-piece box and made it rain barbecue sauce all the way home.
Made it rain barbecue sauce.
That was just like it was my favorite, one of my favorite bits, because A, it happened.
Yeah.
B, I'd taken a scenario.
Part of it happened.
Yeah, part of it happened, but the other part, I'd made the joke.
Yeah.
Right?
You embellished the second half.
Exactly, and it was complete.
Yeah.
It was like a full, done 2-minute thing where like I took people on a small little ride. A
little journey.
Yeah, and I got to say stuff like the part of like what I love about writing is sometimes you'll just do something that's for you, and like hopefully someone in the crowd catches it. And I said, McDonald's is taking advantage of everyone too drunk to do math. I'm never too drunk to do math. and like that's my favorite part of it, because it's like I'm saying a lot about me. People who are Indian are like, oh yeah, Indian people never too drunk to do math.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm saying a lot about myself without having to say it.
Did you ever get beat up? Did you ever get punched in your life?
I'm sure I got punched once or twice when I was a kid. I think I was bullied when I was like 5 or 4.
For real, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. This kid, Jeffrey, was a bully. He pushed me into he never punched me, but he pushed me into like a sink like that. Like,
wow.
Like a counter like that.
Yeah.
And instead of it being, rounded, it was pointed. And so I got hit like right here and like went into my head.
Oh, shit.
And so I had to get like mad stitches.
Oh my gosh. Your parents must have gone nuts.
Yeah, I think my mom went a little crazy. I was like 4 or 5 years old, but they were like, well, can't really do anything. I think that like that's why my mom's first like white people ain't shit moment, because she's like
your first.
Yeah, I mean in America, yeah, for sure. I was 4 or 5. I'm sure that was the first one where she encountered a white parent that she probably did not like.
Interesting.
And I think that's interesting to think about. But yeah.
Wait, what's the white people ain't shit moment in general? What does that mean?
Like this is a country made by white people for white people, and she'd encountered a parent that was white that was like belligerent or overly defensive of some kid had done something wrong to her kid, and there was no like, and the school was run by white administrators, so she was just like, they're not really doing anything, they're not taking my side about this whole thing, like fuck it,
right?
And that was like her, I think one of her defining like can't trust this shit, kind of moments early on from that I encountered.
Did you feel like that, like as you got older? Did you feel like you had that a lot?
What?
The white people ain't shit moments?
No, absolutely not. I had pretty pleasant. At least maybe I'm just blacking out all the moments that people were racist or anything to me, but I can't recall like a lot of racial or racist incidents happening.
Yeah.
There's like whenever I traveled to places, it would be like 20 of us.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say to 20 people?
What are you gonna say to 20 people?
Go home, all of you. Like, come on, bro. Like, no one's doing that. At least they didn't.
Okay. All right. So I'm working on new jokes.
You're working on new jokes.
For real.
All right.
That's what I do on the show.
Yes.
I run new jokes.
We're working it out.
We're working it out. Well, this is what I think is kind of funny. It's like my daughter's 8, which is like an amazing age, but I can't live in the present. And so all I do is my brain goes to when she's 16. She's just going to be like, my dad is garbage. You know what I mean? But when I was a kid, you know, my dad didn't have to worry about that because like they disregarded children.
Yeah.
We would say that and they'd be like, is someone talking? You know what I mean? But now I'm going to have to be like, she's so brave. I want to amplify her voice. You know what I mean? I am garbage.
You're annoyed that you have to be more of a parent than your dad was.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Really? You're just like, I can't. But you turned out fine.
I turned out all right, I think.
You know, so like as a dad, are you trying to embrace being a better dad than your dad was?
I guess so.
Because
I just think like no matter what. And this joke that I've been kicking around, which is like, no matter what, as a parent, like your kids will reject you.
Yes.
That's part of the process of growing up.
So start rejecting them now.
Start rejecting them now.
Flip the switch.
That's funny.
You know, have them come to you.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, so I'm just sort of coming to grips with the idea of like, oh yeah, I guess that's going to happen. And yeah, how's that going to go?
Yeah.
But like I had this joke the other day where Jenny and I went to see our daughter in a ballet recital and we're crying because she doesn't have it. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the business. I have a sense for this kind of thing.
She can't stand on her toes yet?
Yeah.
It's like 101. If you can't stand on your toes by 8 years old, you know ballerinaing is not for you.
Yeah.
No black swan for you, lady.
And then I was hugging her afterwards. I was like, Una, you were fantastic. And she was like, Dad. And she said this. She goes, Dad, you would say I was fantastic even if I wasn't fantastic. And I said to her, I go, you're right. Like, that's true. Mm-hmm. I go, you're much better at logic than you are at ballet. Which of course I didn't say.
Dad.
But that's why she's going to come at me when she's 16.
Do you think, I mean, if you were to deliver that joke to your daughter, how do you think she would react?
I think she'd think it's funny, actually. Una's really, my daughter's, I mean, of course I'm biased. My daughter's a genius. My daughter's funny, all that stuff. But It's like, I think she's pretty funny. I think she'd laugh.
I think for an angle of attack for the bit is your daughter outwitting you in the...
No, absolutely.
Right.
That's definitely what's happening.
Yeah.
She would say I'm fantastic even if I wasn't fantastic. Right. It's like I got checkmated by my daughter.
But what if you told her no, you wouldn't? What if you said no, I wouldn't? And then she was like, you wouldn't? What kind of father are you?
Oh, that's funny.
Dad, you're supposed to.
What kind of father are you?
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know, I always appreciate something that turns the comic into an unexpected, like you take an unexpected turn in your voice or your joke for that moment, kind of thing. Like normally you would say, maybe you would end it on your daughter checkmating you, but I think always as like a fun exercise, like
what's the most extreme?
Yeah, like this, run it up. You know?
Yeah.
It would be fun.
Completely. Yeah, so a lot of things I've been ruminating on lately have to do with like me thinking back to like when I was 8, when I was 10, you know, when I was a teenager. So much of like what I've, you know, like what the way, I don't know what your process is in terms of like finding themes and stuff. It's like I kind of just do like a memory dump on stage in the sense of like, what's the thing I remember? What's a punchline for that? What's the thing I remember? You know, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the thing I keep coming back to from high school and from being an adult is I've always been someone who tries really hard. It's like I really wanted to get a job.
What prevents you from breaking that habit or being different, for not trying hard or changing your process? What compels you to try as hard as you do?
I would venture to guess.
I'm playing armchair psychiatrist at the moment.
I like it. It's dramaturgy or psychology, whichever way you want to describe it. I think honestly, it's just a void. I think you try hard sometimes. In my case, just judge myself. I think you have a thing where you don't feel, in my case, like, one of your parents you don't feel maybe as loved by, and then you're like trying to fill the void that is that, and then you're like, you don't know how, and so one of the ways is just trying really hard by following the rules of what people are doing. That they seem like they knew what they're doing, and so I think that's why I end up trying so hard.
You think if you fixed that void, you would stop trying hard? Quite
possibly. I think about that all the time with Buddhism, because I like read a lot of Buddhist stuff, and and it's like a lot of it is if I arrived at this, the goals of Buddhism, I don't know if I'd have a lot of jokes.
That's the problem. This is all right, let's cut the mics and talk.
Let's cut the mics.
Talk some shit about Buddhism and Hinduism. I've been waiting. Y'all close your ears, everybody.
No, for real though. Like, do you ever think about that?
I think about it. I've been thinking about it recently. Actually, my friend reads a lot of Buddhist stuff too, and we were talking about this high on my stoop the other day. So it might not be the fullest, most fully coherent set of thoughts on Buddhism and its teachings of acceptance, because that's what it is, right?
Of course.
You're supposed to accept the world,
accept the reality as it is,
right?
or whatever it is, not even reality.
And in Hinduism, it's a little similar, where it's like they teach this concept of equanimity.
Yeah.
Which is just being even keeled in any situation.
Yeah.
Don't experience sadness. Don't experience happiness. Like, just be neutral, because the only truth in the universe is that we're from the universe. We go back to the universe. That's what one of the tenets of Hinduism is. And in trying to practice that, you remove your sense of joy.
Yeah.
Because you don't find happiness in anything, and if you get something, you're like, am I supposed to feel good about this?
Yeah.
So it stops you from feeling that.
It's kind of no peaks, no valleys.
Exactly. And so, like, I'm always trying to get to the core thing that makes me feel that way. Like, going back to why you're trying so hard and what void you're trying to fill. I think if you were to catch that thing and not practice Buddhism, you might actually enjoy the thing that you caught, like if you filled that void, and maybe you still keep trying hard because that brings you joy now. Does that track?
Can you repeat that last part? I tracked right till the end.
If you try really hard, if you get to the thing that's making you try really hard, like you're trying to fill a void, so you're trying to work really hard so that you get this thing.
Yeah.
If you got that thing, let's say it's your dad's love.
Yeah.
Then
easy.
then I think you would try hard, because that trying hard will bring you an additional level of joy and work, as opposed to right now you're not enjoying the trying because it's not bringing you the thing.
Right.
You're just avoiding getting that thing.
Right.
So for me, like, working very hard after, like, I'm going to tie this back to the conversation about, you asked me about my parents. Is there anything I can't say?
Yeah.
For a long time, I didn't realize I did not know why my parents divorced when I was 2.
Yeah.
Right. And I had that conversation with my mom and my dad, not my father, my dad.
Yeah.
Who my mom remarried when I was like 4.
Yeah.
Only dad I've ever known. I resolved that issue, and now, like, all my work is like freer. I just intangibly freer somehow.
Interesting.
I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at this thing anymore. Whatever subconscious mad there was is gone, and now whatever work I was doing to not feel that mad is work I'm doing because I just enjoy doing the work.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So anyway, Hinduism and Buddhism are great philosophies, and you should practice them if you can.
That's your save?
Yes.
That's your save at the end?
Yes.
Do you have jokes you're working out?
Oh man.
Do you want to bounce anything off me?
Constantly. Let's see. I've been working on a bit about who the first Patel must have been in the country. You know, they've got is like, because everyone's like, why are there so many Patels? And I say this joke in my first specials because we be fucking, right? But that just like that made me think about like who was the first guy?
Yeah.
Because what I know about Indians in America, how we ended up here.
Yeah.
Early 1900s, late 1800s, we were like brought here as work. Like we were working in like in the ports and all that kind of shit.
And thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We really appreciate it. And we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
We, the White Federation of America.
Bring it up at your notes at the meeting tonight. Then from like 1920 to 1920, there's a landmark Supreme Court case, Bhagat Singh Thin versus the United States, where he's arguing for his right to vote in this country, and because Caucasians are the only people allowed to vote. At the time, Indian people in India were considered from Caucasia, like the geographical to whatever that is.
Right.
I don't know, but so they called us Indians because they called us Caucasians because they already had Indians, you know, natives. And 1921, that case happens. They say Indians are not Caucasian. Moreover, so they can't vote. Moreover, you're all being deported.
Wow.
So they kick like 3,000 Indian people out of the country.
Wow.
And deport them. And so in 1965, America lifts the Asian American Exclusion Act. Yeah. Which like was put into place, like keep Asians out of the country. Yeah. And the first Patel probably came over in like 1965. Okay. And they didn't go to like New York, like cool places. Yeah. They end up in like Alabama. Sure. Yeah. Or, you know, and it's like, who was that first guy that told, and the story is they tell all their cousins to come over, work at the motels, work in these places. Yeah. And that's how, you know, at least part of the Patel community became what it is, which is like the largest owners of motels and hotels in the country.
I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Very strongly held stereotype and very proud of it. But Patel Motel Cartel is like a thing. Hudson's definitely said it. Hudson's part of it.
Oh, really?
For sure. What I was saying is that first Patel was definitely lonely. and definitely a liar, right? Like, no, Jacksonville's
definitely
great.
Lonely, definitely a liar.
Jacksonville's fantastic. You gotta
That's
come.
A great joke.
Thank you, but
Jacksonville's fantastic.
You gotta come.
It is the ultimate diss track. Jacksonville's fantastic. That's a great album title too. Yeah. Jacksonville's fantastic.
Me and Cat Williams gonna go on
exactly.
9-minute tears about Jacksonville. I love I love that bit.
Oh, that's great.
But like that, I'm trying to expand.
That's an amazing bit. I think one of the things I love about that bit is that it teaches me something too. Yeah. Because you go over like all the like the acts and all the different history of it. And it's like some of it I know, some of it I don't know. And so it's like I really enjoy it, and especially that it lands comedically.
Thank you.
Jacksonville's great, and also it hinges on like the person was a liar. Yes. Which is hilarious.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that dissection of it. It's just like I think there's a lot of meat on the like the explanation bones still. Yeah. I know I can make jokes about each one of those things. Yeah. Again, my MO for writing is like try to have a complete bit. Yes. I think
I have the same exact thing.
It's like,
well, because without the complete bit, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, I have tons of jokes.
Yeah, I have tons of that. Trust me, I got cards and cards and cards of jokes, and I always say like I'm trying to create a special that essentially has 6 10-minute chunks.
Yes, exactly.
I'm trying to turn this into 6.
Structure it, add meat to it, whatever. Yeah. And so with this one, I know there's a ton of meat on the historical bones. Yeah, yeah. But like, it feels like a very early on. Like, I know there's more after Jacksonville's fantastic.
I think maybe there's some turn where you say like you're a liar in some way, or something where like, because I know I'm a liar.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe the family shows up, like they're there with their suitcases. you said Jacksonville was awesome,
Right,
man.
right. You can say that. You can play
Where
that
are the women running around butt naked?
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I'll add to it.
But
No bugs at all, you said.
right. You can start taking apart the places. No, but I really do think you could pivot into something that like where you've done an analogous thing in your life, where you're lonely and lying.
Yes.
It's like when I did this. You know what I mean? Like I tried to, convince someone to come out with me when I was, just like I was stuck.
Nah, trust
I was
me.
stuck in Fargo.
Yeah.
And I, so I asked an opening act to come and do the show with me. And I was like, it's great.
Yeah.
Crowds are great.
It's gonna be a good time. I
Great
promise.
hotel,
Yeah. I got you, man. There's definitely running water.
yeah. But like, I know what you mean. It's like that joke is very front heavy and it's got a really strong short punchline, but then like, it's like, well, then what?
Yes.
It's like, if this, then what else?
I kind of envision it as the act one
Yeah.
of a 5-act hour-long play or of a movie.
Well, the other thing is like you could dig into like what you could find out the truth of like what the first Patel family was.
It's like it's so hard to trace that.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I think like the discovery of like, your theory is that first Patel was lonely and a liar. And then the act 2, I think, is finding out what the real Patel was like and how that compares and contrasts to what your theory is. And then no matter what, like if you're right, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah.
you're wrong is funnier than you're right.
100%. The first Patel was just an angelic benefactor of a man.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Or something else.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's a cult leader.
I hope
Who
so.
knows?
I hope so. I hope I'm like 4th generation victim of a cult. I don't even know it.
Jesus.
That'd be sick.
So the final thing we do is working it out for a cause, and it's like we donate to an organization that you think does a good job, and then we link to them in the show notes.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like any nonprofit that you ever contribute to.
I have my cousin's nonprofit just started. He's a member, and then his wife is a co-founder of it. It's called South Asian Americans for Change.
That's great.
It's a mental health awareness nonprofit. Mental health in the South Asian communities, I think, like starting to get attention. Just now, it feels like almost a groundswell will happen soon, but it's just starting to get attention. And just like I am not a spokesperson for the organization.
Yeah.
But I'm on not the board, but whatever. It's like hey, here
You're on
I'm
Hey Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate this organization, but my way of doing my charity for it is by just going to therapy and telling people I'm going to therapy.
That's great.
And I'm going to be doing like so many bits about it. About just therapy. Like
It's like the comedians can't not think of anything in relation to how is this going to be a bit.
yeah. No, I mean that's half the reason I went. Is like, all right, I'm out of shit to talk about again. And
we'll contribute to them. And thanks for coming on, man. The special's great. Congrats.
thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.